What is happening, people, and welcome back to the channel. I am, of course, Jimmy, as it says here, and this is your watch-along for Bolton Wanderers making their return to the Championship and Heckie's own Preston North End. So welcome, one and all, to the channel. This is our second watch-along in the Championship this season. We did Wolves and Blackburn last night, which turned out to be a much closer game than we thought it were going to be. 2-2 it finished, and to be honest, Blackburn looked good value for all 3 points, which nobody had. I had Wolves running out 3-0 winners. That is how difficult it is with no evidence on other than what's on paper. So fair play to Blackburn. They may have made some people think now about their pre-season predictions, and as might Wolves. I think a lot of people have got Wolves down as second in the division. Look, the Wolves will come in. You could see in spurts the quality that they had yesterday, and it will come good for Wolves. It'll click at some stage, I believe, but it may take a little bit longer than expected. Somebody I think it was Al in the chat that was saying they've got a losing mentality, and it's very hard to break. Which, as a Sheffield United fan, I can tell you, when you've got a losing mentality, which we started the season as, it's very, very hard to turn around. So we'll wait and see. We will wait and see. Hope you're all good. Hope you're looking forward to what, for a lot of us, is the first day of our Championship season. The league obviously kicked off last night with a Wolves and Blackburn game. But we're off. We're underway. And what a way to start. There were 5,000 people watched last night in total. So thank you to the 5,000 that joined us, which is absolutely incredible. If we get anywhere close to that today, I'll be absolutely delighted. But you're all welcome to come along and dip in, dip out whenever you can. If you're watching the game at home on your own, then you want a bit of company, then I'm here. And this is a little bit different today because usually I've got a co-commentator, and I've made the conscious decision. Obviously, George would have been welcome if he wanted. And I like doing co-coms with our Ramblers as well. We've got Platinum Ramblers who have the option when it's offered out to do some co-coms with me as well. And I really enjoy that, having different personalities on and different football people. But I'm going to give it a go on my own today. I was talking to Connor McGilligan about this, who I do proper football with. And he was saying there's a different dynamic when you do watch-alongs on your own. You can sort of get more involved with your audience. I think our channels, both this channel, Jimmy Smith EFL, and the Blades Ramble, are known for our audience interaction. And I think that's the audience tends to drive the content, and something I'm very proud of because I want you to feel as involved as you can be. So I don't know whether there'll be much of a difference for us than there might be for other people, because we still try and get to every comment and all that sort of thing. But we're going to see. We're going to experiment like we do with a lot of our content. Try something, see what works. We'll be doing it a couple of times this weekend because tomorrow I'm on my own for Watford versus Southampton. And then Geordie Boy joins me again for the big one, which is Burnley versus West Ham. So really looking forward to getting into it. Let's jump into some of your comments before we go through the teams. Sam says, this will be a very close game. Yeah, I agree, pal. I agree. I think I ended up going in the end because I've got my predictions video out. And hilariously, when I was doing the predictions video, I couldn't remember what half of my predictions were. I know somebody called me out on that. That's fair to do. I'm pretty sure I had a 1-0 Bolton in this. But I could see any result. I could see Preston nicking a winner. I could see a draw. And I've gone for, ultimately, that Bolton will carry their momentum from the playoff final into the game. Catch Preston a bit cold, maybe, with some new players to come into the side. And we'll wait and see. Matt says, afternoon, pal. Football is back, buzzing to get back to the lane. Might see you later down there. Yes, you will. Up the Blades, up the Ramble. You will see me down there, pal. I'm fortunate that I'm able to do this watch along today, because if it were a 3 o'clock kickoff at Bramall Lane, a normal Saturday kickoff, I wouldn't be able to do this one because I'd be on my way, because it takes me 45 minutes to get there. And we like to go for a drinking triple point beforehand. So, yes, bring me a Nell, says Scott. Danny Hall saying he's available. Oh, is he? Available for $5 million. It's a no-brainer, especially if we hold a sell-on and possibly owed future payments. Okay, mate. That Matilda Shakes intro song is a belter. Is it on Spotify? I believe so. It's due to... Do you know what, Russ? I was just thinking that when I was coming on. So on the Blades Ramble, we also use Matilda Shakes, who are a local Sheffield band. Support local. They are top class. And it's Fever Dream. So anybody that's seen us on the Blades Ramble, Ruby in a red dress. That's Matilda Shakes, and I absolutely love it. And I feel it's completely now synonymous with the channel. When you hear that song, you think Ramble, which I love. And this one, Transmission, is a new tune that they've worked on and let me have a touch early. So thank you to James, who's one of my boys, but he's the lead singer of Matilda Shakes, and he's let us use it for this channel as well. And it's been a mutually beneficial relationship, really, because as we've grown, they've grown in popularity as well. And I don't mean because of us, I mean in their own right. So they are now known very well locally and hopefully soon nationally as being a really good, just played tram lines and just really good going from strength to strength. And we feel like we are as channels as well. So it's been a really good, mutually beneficial relationship, and they are top class. I think it fits with the theme that we're going for. When you put it on, it gets me riled up and in mood. It's sort of it's an adrenaline boost, isn't it? Adrenaline's another tune that they've done as well, which is actually about Sheffield United at Bramall Lane. So yeah, shout out to Matilda Shakes. It's called Transmission, and I believe if it's not already out, then it will be soon. Russ, I'll keep you posted, pal. Martel says, afternoon, Jimmy. Looking forward to getting back to the lane, up the Ramble, up the Blades. Absolutely right. I want to say, first and foremost, thank you so much to everybody that's jumped on and joined either our Discord or our Platinum chat. Anybody that's supported us in any which way, whether it's financially or just subscribing to what we do and getting more eyes on what we're doing, it's all very much appreciated. And if anybody's local and going to the Sheffield United game today, and anybody doesn't already know, a lot of us drink pre-match, just for a pint. It's not a big sesh, but a lot of us go to Triple Point for like pre-match drinks, if you like. So by all means, anybody's welcome. I know it looks daunting going up to a big crowd of people, but we've all done it individually at some stage. We've all been that awkward person that's just come into the group and honestly, people will make you feel so welcome. There is no judgment. There is no nothing. It's exactly the environment and community that we're after. Very welcoming, non-judgmental. Come and join in. We're all pals. We all want Sheffield United to do well. And that's, sorry, I appreciate that's more Blades Ramble focus, but a lot of us are Blades in here, and we're saying we're going to the game this afternoon. Blackburn surprisingly looked good on the ball, said Zeto. I like Mosquera from Wolves too, but about his injury. Yeah, it were interesting, weren't it? Blackburn did look very good, and credit to Blackburn first and foremost. Tony Mowbray, who we had some doubts about just because of his previous spell at West Brom, and he's been ill as well. So hope he's fully recovered. Still a wily old veteran, and I'm delighted to see that he's still got he can get his teams to still get a bit about him. I think he thrives when he's a bit like Chris Wilder, thrives in the underdog mentality and being written off. So Blackburn might upset a few. I've got him to go down 23rd. They might. It's a great start into it anyway. It's very, very early to call anything, but it's a great start for him. You're saying you like Mosquera for Wolves. He looked decent. Then they brought him, because I think they'd used all the subs, they kept him on. And he's limping around. And I don't know whether he's done any more damage to whatever the injury was, but dangerous game to play that, I think. There was a player for Blackburn called Arthur Lyon. And I thought he looked good as well. Alabiosu looked good on the right hand side. He was the unfortunate one to give away the penalty in the dying minutes. So good game, really good game to start us off. Dawn says, good afternoon, Jimmy. Watching you while sitting in the garden, enjoying the sunshine. Love to hear it, Dawn. Love to hear it. You enjoy yourself. Wolves were poor last night, says Dan. We're lucky to get a result. Were they poor or were Blackburn good, or were it a bit of both? I think they'll certainly be frustrated with their performance. You could see in bits that Fur looks top class in moments. Mane looked unplayable at times. They have got real threats. And when Raul Jimenez starts hitting the ground running, I'm sure he'll be in instead of Adam Armstrong. I know Adam Armstrong's known to be a very good championship striker. They had their third choice goalkeeper in goal as well with Dan Bentley. They've got Jose Sarr coming in front of him. He might go, but then there's Sam Johnston as well. So I expect Wolves to improve, definitely, but we'll wait and see. Good morning from Lakeland, Florida, says Kev. Good morning, my mate. Hope you are good. Souttar's starting for Leicester, says MFC tracker, Borough fan. Yeah, seen that. Got a lot of chat going on about it in our Platinum Ramble chat. Good morning, Kev. Cocoa Beach, Florida here. Oh, nice. There's some real top destinations tuning into the Ramble. It's not the Ramble, is it? Tuning into the Jimmy Smith EFL channel. I'm still going to get used to that. Russ says, agree with you about Wolves. A dodgy penalty saved their blushes. Nobody's ever the finished article on day one of the season. That's absolutely right. And we have to remember, us as Blades, certainly me as a Blade, and any Blades that are watching, and then replicate that about your own club, whichever club you support, you'll be frustrated with not having the complete squad at the moment. But you have to recognise everybody feels like that at the moment. Us, I can tell you from a Blades perspective, we feel like we're going into this Birmingham game today undercooked, that we could have had Harry Souttar in earlier. We could have had another defender if it's not going to be Harry Souttar. We could have had this done, that done, other done. We need a left winger. Other teams are going in thinking exactly the same thing about different spots and things like that. So everybody, as Russ says, nobody's ever the finished article on day one of the season. This is why I think it would be a much better idea to move the transfer window forward. So have it finished before the start of the season, but you could start it 3 weeks earlier. So there's no need for it to run into the season. You want your teams, your squads to be confirmed before the start of the season. It's just, I understand the commercial element around there being an actual transfer window, but I don't think there's any difference between it closing before the start of the season as opposed to starting 3 weeks into the season. That can't surely have any impact on finances unless I'm just not getting anything. Jimmy, I hope you lot get Souttar. I would hate to have him at Wrexham with his injury history. I have this at 0-0, says Zeto. So Zeto, obviously a Wrexham fan. Honestly, all joking aside, he'd be a great signing for you. Yes, he's got injury history, but there's a reason we're desperate to sign him. Absolutely desperate to sign him, and I think he's everything that we need. Everything that we need to go next to Tanganga. I've just got a stray hair there. That's annoying me. Will says 6 new proven signings in now, and remarkable. Been spending millions, and Hecky is happy. Says Will PNE. I hope he is happy. We're going to have a look at the teams in a minute, and I like Hecky. I really like Hecky. I think you're nudging closer to a takeover, right? There's been some murmurings for a little while, but whether that actually comes to fruition, I'm not sure. That's probably why you've been able to spend a little bit. I think the Bergshog signing's smart for all parties. The Alfie Devine deal's a really good one. If you can get the Stanley Mills one done. But you'll have to tell me, Will, somebody said last night that the Mills deal is not actually going to come to you till January, which I think is a bit odd. So you'll have to let me know what the situation is. Chris says, Anel or Souttar, Jimmy, if you had to pick one, it'd be Souttar for me. Just in terms of what we need at the moment. I think Anel's potentially got a higher ceiling in terms of where he can go now in the game, but because I think he's slightly younger, isn't he? But Souttar is colossal, and he's exactly what we need. I think he complements us really well, and we know that he's been here and done it before. Thom says, afternoon, pal. How are you? It's match day. Get up. Aren't you out and about? But yeah, thank you, Thom, for tuning in. What a boy. Hello from Handsworth, Sheffield. Exotic, I know. Dad's absolutely buzzing this morning. Back to the lane, and he's on the United promo vid this morning. Oh, nice one. That's class. Shout out to Thom Senior, Mr. Thulborn. Hope you're good. Steve Holmes, returning Platinum Rambler. What a man. Good afternoon, Jimmy. Thoughts on the Harry situation? Anel, not in my thoughts, to be honest. Been there and done that. Up the Blades, up all the Rambles. Like and subscribe. Thoughts on the Harry situation? Well, Steve's in the Platinum chat. He knows largely what I think about it. I think we let it play out a little bit here for me. After this game, we've got another week to go back and forth. I wouldn't be going over a certain number. I don't think we've approached the number that people have been speculating in the press. It's nowhere near 10 million from what I understand. I do think there's some posturing going on from clubs involved. I'm not so sure that Wrexham are as keen on Souttar as is being described, but we'll see. I had a message yesterday from someone that said Wrexham have got him. So we'll see. Mate. Okay, right. That's me caught up on the comments. Thank you to everybody that's joining in with me. We'll shift over now to have a little look at what the teams are. So Starting off with Bolton. See how many of these I recognise. Oh, it's interesting. That's interesting because no Ben Davies, and they've just signed another centre-half who they've not included either. So, Jack Bonham in goal. Ex-Stoke keeper, I believe. They're just looking at Leicester's outgoings. They've brought in significant money, to be fair, but still need some more. So Jack Bonham in goal, Stoke goalkeeper. Luke Stevenson, who is the Liverpool bought-in right back. So they bought him from Liverpool 21s. Obviously comes from a good stock, good pedigree. I think it was about 800 grand they paid. Could turn out to be a really good signing. And even if it's not, you're not really going to lose money on a player that's, 21, 22, maybe even younger. Again, I might have got that wrong, but yeah, it's a sensible signing. Obviously, a position that they needed as well. And the back of Chris Verino is in. Is this right? Is this right? Is this the right setup? It might be. Sometimes Stream Builder takes a minute just to get up to speed. So Chris Verino and Famewu are in the centre back pairing, and Conway is the left back. But I'm just going to get it up on Flash Score just to double check. So if anybody uses the app Flash Score, it's really good for like checking lineups and stuff like that. So it's Chris Verino, Joseph, and Famewu, at the back, and it's Max Conway at left back. They've got the same formation here as Stream Builder have. So it is Josh Sheehan, and what's his name again? Ethan Erhahon in centre midfield. It's then Lara Zabal in at right wing. I think he's one at New Boys, isn't he? Yeah, he's a new signing. And Gale on the left. Thierry Gale. Nice. It's not the McAtee you're thinking of. It's John McAtee, James's brother, in the 10, who's done well for Bolton last season, played for Barnsley previously. And up front, it is Sam Dolby, who they are looking to upgrade on. I think it's probably fair to say. I think this is where, at the moment, Bolton will struggle. So I'm comfortable with them strengthening the defence. I think what they are doing is quite smart. It's later on in the window, they are looking to see what attacking options are available on loan to them when Premier League clubs finalise the squads. And I think it's just a smart way of recruiting, but it does mean they might be a little bit slow to start. I know I've got them winning today. I don't think, stating they might score one goal is outrageous. But they're up against a tricky operator in Eke, who has got a decent Preston team together here. They've got Everson in goal, who a lot of us really like. Sancho, Paul Valentin Sancho is at right back, signed from Sheffield Wednesday last season. Jordan Storey at centre half, good player, and Liam Lindsay next to him. It is, which Hughes is that? Is it Andrew Hughes? Is that the Andrew Hughes? 34 now. Now then, so Bolton have got their new right winger, who they've brought into the club, in the lineup today against a 34-year-old Andrew Hughes. If there's a sort of concern spot, that might be the one. But again, Preston fans, tell me if you disagree. Ali McCann is in centre midfield alongside Jordan Thompson. It's a little bit of a meh midfield, if I dare say. Ali McCann's okay. Jordan Thompson's steady enough, but I think they're just average Championship players. They've obviously lost Ben Whiteman in this window, which is a huge blow. He was their captain. But then it gets a little bit stronger for him, doesn't it, further forward? Alfie Devine in the 10 is going to be a real player for Preston. I think he will become a real bit of a talisman for him. I think he's been a coup of a signing. They've signed him for, £4.5 million? It's a real investment, and it shows ambition from Preston to get a player in like this. They need to do that as one of the smaller clubs in terms of spending power in the league. They need to make these calculated but smart signings, so they will not lose money on Alfie Devine. Bergzorg comes in from Borough, another smart signing because it's a loan of a Championship level player who can be good on his day, and they've got the option to purchase him for £2 million. I think that'll come about because he won't be on cheap wages. So that'll be the only stumbling block if anything gets done there. But it doesn't look like he's got a future at Borough, who have kicked up a level beyond him, I would probably say. Callum Lang on the left wing, good player. Somebody to watch, really. And we'll see how young Stevenson deals with him on the left-hand side, if this is, in fact, how they line up. And the rat up front, Osmaic, who is an okay striker. I don't like him as a person. I don't know many people that do. It's not about that, really, is it? But when you don't like somebody, you don't particularly want them to do well. I would be ashamed to have him representing our club. He's been done for all sorts of morally reprehensible things, spitting, racist slurs, all sorts of stuff that he's just a bad egg, to be honest. And we'll see how fruitful it proves to be for him. But that's the Preston lineup. So let me know what you guys think the score is going to be. We're about 8 minutes away from kickoff. As I say, I can genuinely see this going any which way. So we've got if anybody is thinking of placing a bet and wants to utilise our MIDNITE affiliate link, please do so. It's not a paid for sponsorship. It's just something that we get a slight kickback of anything. There's no real pressure for anybody to sign up, and please do gamble responsibly if you're going to do it. But I've got Bolton down to nick this 1-0, but I can easily see it swinging either way, and a draw. A lot of people are saying a draw, one apiece. So let me know what you guys think. What else are we saying? Will says Preston have signed Stan Mills 2 million, but because of the embargo on Oxford, he can't come to Preston till January. Well, it can, but excuse me, Oxford have refused to let him out because they don't think they're going to have enough. They can't bring players in, so they could let him go to you, but that's been the negotiation from what I understand. And you must have agreed to allow him to stay there until January, which I think is crackers. You must have got a good. I mean, 2 million. 2 million's a lot to fork out for a player that you're not going to get for another 6 months. Thom says, was out this morning, pal. Made sure I was back for this. What a man. What a man. I reckon Bolton will bottle it, I think you mean, but Divano is not a fan of. Who do you support, Divano? You'll have to let me know, pal. Zeto says, did you give your prediction for the match? Yeah, 1-0 Bolton, as I say, pal. That's what I've officially gone with. I'll be on Sue to watch while watching you, says Scott. If we're still serious about him, you'd hate for him to pick up a silly injury which forces us to look elsewhere. I'm still confident. Personally. 2-1 Preston for me. No clue why, says Mitch. Yeah, I can see that. I don't see Bolton getting more than one, if I'm honest. And I could be. Look, I was very wrong last night. I had Wolves down as 3-0 winners, handsomely going out and dealing with Blackburn. Didn't happen, did it? I'll tell you the one thing that I might not be able to do on this stream, because I'm on my Todd, is stop talking a lot. Whereas normally when George's on with me, I get a little bit of a break to have a drink or whatever. So I can still have a drink, obviously. But my wife and girls are back from Spain. They went on holiday. And look what they brought me back. For our audio listeners, they have brought me a Toblerone from Spain that is just staring at me. So it'd be lovely to have a little nibble on it while I'm watching. But because I'm the only one talking to you guys, then it might have to wait till Burnley West Ham tomorrow. Are you doing the Blades versus Blues live? No, pal. I'm going to the game today, so I won't be doing it as a watch-along. I'll be there myself. And it's, as I say, it's fortunate that it's a later kickoff for me personally, because I'll be doing that. So in terms of content, what we've got coming up, so on the Blades Ramble, which channel am I live on next? This is my life now, trying to work out when I'm on. So I'll be from here. ATB's picking me up. That's my dad, Andy the Blade. He's picking me up at 3. We're going through to Triple Point. We're going to have a couple of pints with Ramblers. Then we're going to head to the ground. We'll watch the game. We'll come away. I'll do a Fallout. So the Fallout is my immediate match reaction. So I'll be doing one of those for about 10 minutes, upload it to YouTube, and that'll be available after the Blades match. Then I'll come back. We'll be doing a manager reaction. So we'll look at Chris Wilder's post-match reaction, his post-match interview, and we'll go through it together. And that will be tonight live on the Blades Ramble. Tomorrow, I tell you what, wife's really happy about this after I've not seen her all week and I'm doing all this. Tomorrow, we're doing Watford versus Southampton as a watch-along. And then straight after that, can't currently watch us. There's an issue with the connection between this mini box and your Sky Q box. That's great. Oh, no, we're back on. We're back on. Just let me have a little look at some of these Bolton subs. So Brunt, yeah. Christie, Dong, new signing Christie. Ryan Hardy's on the bench as well. Illing Jr., forgot that. Ooh. Okay, I didn't know he'd gone there. So then we've got Watford, Southampton tomorrow. Then George Motson's joining me for Burnley, West Ham. That's both on this channel. And then we'll be back on Blades Ramble at 7 o'clock tomorrow night doing 90 After 90, which is our call-in show to review and look back to the Blades game that's just gone. So pretty busy, but it's how we like it. It's how we like it. On the Preston bench, they've got Arabi, their new signing, number 9. Leroy, who's just signed for him as well. Thierry Small, Martin Afire. So, interesting that they've gone for Valentin instead of Afire. I'd have gone for him. They got him from Brighton last year, didn't they? Prefer him to Valentin, but maybe that's because he's an ex-Sheffield Wednesday player. Tom says, I got Preston on my midnight bet. You the boy. But saying that, I also had Wolves last night. So, yeah, true. Mark says, is this Thom's dad? Afternoon, Jimmy. Looking forward to the games. Can't wait to see which Blades team turns up. Just wanting us to play on the front foot from the start. Thank you, my mate. You have to let me know if you're any relation to our boy Thom. Will says, full house at Bolton. 4,400 Preston fans sold out away end. Very spicy match. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Will. It's going to be good. Scott says, Callum's hate for us is inspiring. Just seen a Betfred tweet where they asked for a hot take and his response was Wilder sacked and Blades in a relegation fight. Honestly, Scott, he believes that. As his mate, I can tell you he believes it. And I can't, I could chuck a glass of cold water in his face. I could slap him with a wet fish and it wouldn't change how he feels. He just, some things he knows and some things he's no idea about. Hey, says Damsey Doe. Zeto says, I'm going to miss Brunt. Bolton made a good deal there. Yes, it's a decent... He's come from Wrexham, for those that aren't aware, for I think about 550 grand. It's a good deal. Good deal on a 4-year contract as well. I think he'll come into Bolton side at some stage. From one Wanderers to another, absolutely, Damsido. From Wolves to Bolton. Alan says, Jim, great watch along last night. Thanks. I had given up on us. Wolves getting back in it when we were 2-1 down. But Jordan said Wolves didn't look like scoring. And I knew then we would be okay. Yeah, Jordan's got a bit of the curse of the commentator about him. Because he normally calls it bang on. But then he does jinx things from time to time. Daz says, bejesus, Jim. A lovely day in Dublin. Doing a bit of work in the sun out the back. Hope CC you managed to get the dishes done before your last came back. Let's hope the quality doesn't drop too much. All sorted, mate. All sorted. It were passable when she came back, which is absolutely most I could hope for. Sean says, afternoon, Jim. Thought I'd put you on for an hour before kick-off, before off to meet the lads in the pub at 1:30. Really looking forward to it. I think we're going to lose Suter now. Hope I'm wrong. I hope you're wrong too, but there is a limit in there. Hey up, Dad, says Thom. Yeah, I'm his dad, the famous one on the video. I'm going to have a look at that. I'm going to see, before I know what you look like, Mark, I'm going to see if I can spot you just because of the resemblance to Thom. So we'll... I'll point him out. I'll tell Thom today if I see him which one I think it is, and then we'll have to... He'll probably screenshot it and let me know. No, Jordan's not there. Jordan's not there. O'Hare to score today, says Divano. Absolutely hope so. Jack Robinson own goal would be nice. See, that's the thing as well. A bit like Russ was saying earlier. As a Sheffield United fan, I don't think we're ready. No fans that I speak to think that we're ready. But Birmingham fans will also think they're not quite ready yet as well. Every team, both teams in this game will think we're not done yet in transfer market. We're not quite done. Tom's just sent me a video, but I'll have to watch it when I'm not on. Oh. So we're off, and our clock is about 20 seconds behind theirs. So it might just be a little bit of a delay watching it, because I'm on 1 minute and 11:12. So if you're keeping up with me, then that's where I am. So Preston in red. We'll wait and see. That'll probably update itself. I'm not going to mess about with it. Eki just shouting instructions to his boys. So let's have a look at the teams. So we've got both of them listed here as a 4-2-3-1. Let's have a little look to see whether that's actually the way the teams have set up. It does look like Preston are that way. Divine's just dropping a little bit deeper than a 10. Oh no, he ain't that one. Wrong one. It's a good start. Good start, Jim. It might be a 3 for Preston, you know. Might be a 3-5-2, this. No. No, it isn't. For Bolton, sorry. No, it isn't. Thierry Gale now on left-hand side. Good cross with his right foot. He's headed clear. Liam Lindsay headed it clear. Oh, nice ball. But it's well dealt with by Bolton. All the way back to Bonham. Bonham! Tom says the giveaway might be me sat next to him, Jim. Look at you getting more screen time with Sheffield United. This game screams of a 1-1, says Ben. Good luck with that, Jimmy. My hair's going the other way. Let's go Schumacher, says Damsido. Yeah, Schumacher's a Bolton gaffer, obviously. Good challenge there by Valentine. What's going on? Wowzers. Thierry Gale into the box now for Bolton. Inside and outside he goes. And it's, yeah. We're about to go out for a corner, but it's rescued by P&E. Gale again. Who's been very lively. Crossed in. Oh, it's dealt with by the Preston defence. But it looks like it's come off. Did it come off? Oh, did it come off in the end? Oh. John McAtee. John McAtee. Brand says, Cal talks nonsense. All of his opinions on us are driven by his hatred towards us. I just switch off from him because it's boring. I do think there's a built-in bias against. I don't think he believes there is, but I think there is, and that's just... sorry about the mix-up, Jim. Hope the quality of the watch-along doesn't drop too much now. George's not there. Fat fingers, small letters on phone. Welcome to back to the lane, Robbo. Well, for a day only. Yes, please. Only 2 minutes in, but Suter doesn't look interested. Sloppy passes and walking about. Well, he's told him he wants to come to Sheffield United, hasn't he? So, it'd be interesting to know, Scott, if you can sort of let us know how are the Leicester fans reacting to him. Bertie says, I don't think you're a natural commentator. Can't wait for the game tonight. Wowzers. Thank you, mate. Strong rumours, Angels looking more and more likely than Suter. Or Anel, I think you mean. Happy with either, to be honest, says Super Sharp Blades. Oh, it's well intercepted. Ref pulls it back for an earlier foul. Keeping an eye on the Leicester game, wondering if they walk the league or not. Or Notts can start with a win. So it's a good start from Bolton. Decent tempo. Oh, not sure about that. Advantage. Oh no, refs pulled it back for a free kick. Well done. He had a little look to see if they're going in a better position than they could have been with free kick. And then he's pulled it back. It's just, it goes through back of him. Callum Lang. It's not a booking, but it's a free kick in a dangerous position. Notts County going well against Leicester at last I looked. Mott's. Lol. Does that mean they've scored? All right, it's just Notts, isn't it? Will someone do away with autocorrect? JB with a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, my pal. Jimmy, you're the GOAT. You're Leeds and you know it, mate. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Nah, up the Blades, up the Ramble. I think Leeds might actually get Conference League or maybe win the Prem, marching on together. I think you'll be comfortable this year, pal. It's crossed in, but it's fudge back keeper. Oh, I tell you what, Everson there, who's a good keeper, looked well dodge. Osmaich. Foul on centre half. Wrong'un. Notts have hit the post. And Ellen Suits both coming home, Jim? No, definitely not. JB says, and how do I subscribe, mate, monthly to the channel to help you out? We've got memberships on this channel, pal, if you want to help out. We've got more sort of deeper level memberships on the Blades Ramble. You're welcome wherever you want to be, pal. Any support is appreciated, whether it's monetary or not. Just getting word out and getting, letting people know about it. It all helps. It's all appreciated. So they're just talking about some new rules coming in here as well. That you've got time limits for certain things. If a player's down injured for more than a minute, then I think somebody has to go off the pitch or something like that. We're going to have Gaz Dunn on who'll talk us through all these new rules. We've already seen stuff like you've got something like 10 seconds to take a throw when it goes out of play once you've picked it up. It's to prevent time wasting and keep the game moving quicker. And if you don't do it within the 10 seconds, it gets reversed and the throwing goes the other way. He's looked fairly steady as young Stevenson, right back. Danny Hall and Fabrizio saying Anella's signalled he wants to come and he's on the Blades wish list. As Fabrizio Romano said he's on the Blades wish list. I think Romano said it was Southampton. Danny Hall just confirmed again our interest in Anel and it's not a loan inquiry. Okay. Fabrizio 2 says meet Reading versus Luton. Says Divano. I fancy Luton this year. I think they'll be good. It's not really a hot take for anybody that keeps half an eye on League One, I suppose. Looking comfortable. I like the look of Stevenson at right back. It's interesting because I've just got to get a little bit more used to these sides. I know Preston from last year, but not massively in depth. And obviously Bolton are a new side to me, really. So I've just got to get used to some of the players, which I will do as the season goes on. Hodgie says, I think you're a very good commentator. Thanks for the hours of entertainment. Thank you, mate. Look, I'm not offended by it. I don't propose to be a professional anything. I enjoy the game and I like to enjoy it with other people. So as long as you're having a good time while you're here, that's all I'm bothered about. I certainly, Geordie's a much better commentator than I don't just say that to be nice either. He genuinely is a much better commentator than me. You've got to know your strengths in this game for me. I think I bring something different myself, but I would like to think I can still put an engaging stream on me Todd, because that's how I am. That's how I started it. So I've got a decent following doing that. And commentary might not be as crisp as it is when George's here, but I don't think anybody's particularly adjust for the commentary, are they? I can't ask George to give up all his time to be on all the time. Kyle says, have they changed the rule for goalkeepers as well? So if a goalkeeper goes down, another player has to go up, something like that. I know they've changed the rule for if a goalkeeper takes too long with a goal kick or something. Oh, I tell you what, Everson there, we're under pressure. then it can be awarded as a corner. I think it's about 8 or 10 seconds for that. But again, we'll get Gaz done on. Got a new show. Thanks to Aid, by the way, who gave us the idea for this. A new show called GAR with Gaz, assistant referee. So it's obviously a play on VAR. Once he's back from his jollies in Vegas, we will be doing a weekly show on like controversial decisions of that week. But obviously, it's also an opportunity for people to speak to Gaz about the new rules and stuff. Damsido says, I can't see Cov getting relegated. Surely Lampard is not taking them on a road to perdition. I think I like Cov's chances of giving it a real go, and I think they will. I've got him. I think I've actually got him to stay up, and Fulham to struggle, be the one to struggle. Oh, it's nice, unlucky bit of play from Bolton there. He's a little bit feisty, this one. Don't mind it at all, because it's a rivalry, isn't it? And there'll be a lot of new signings in these sides wanting to show the fans that they're committed to their team. And if you're up against a rival in your first game, then it's like Joe Rothwell did it with us. You get too keen in one of your first few games, and don't be surprised if there's a card here somewhere, because people are a little bit overeager. Ali McCann gets the first yellow card of the game in the centre circle, bringing his man down. He's not a new signing, but it might be that sort of game, really. But sorry, yeah, in terms of Cov, Damsido, the only question mark for me really is, obviously it's a 50-50 for me whether they get relegated or not. It could be just as wrong as I am right, but just as much chance of it. Will Lampard stay the season? Because if a Crystal Palace comes up, or even a Fulham who can back him more financial. Look, Coventry have got a great foundation, and I think that gives them half a chance. But I think Lampard might be key to what you're doing at the moment, because he's done such a good job. I have to say, he's impressed me, Frank Lampard. I was never really a big downer on him, but I think he does come with him and Gerrard and all these. Rooney obviously bombed as a manager, but they sometimes get seen as being handed great opportunities because of who they were as a player. And that sometimes, I think, can work the other way and make it more difficult for you to gain the respect as a manager. Because Frank Lampard's just been handed this, handed that. Oh, what a lovely ball through. John McAtee with a shot. It's parried. On the rebound, it's a goal. Bolton are in front, and it's Sam Dolby. That's what happens if you take a chance. I tell you what, Everson's looked dodge this game. I like Everson as a goalkeeper, but he has made a couple of things where he's looked really poor. So it's a lovely little flick. I think it's from Dolby to send McAtee through. He has a shot from outside the box, and this is what we talk about as Sheffield United fans, but also any fans, particularly in this league. He has a half volley, which he shoots on target. That's all he needs to do. There's always a chance the keeper's going to parry rather than just collect. He parries it straight into the path of Sam Dolby, who has a really calm approach, puts it low bottom left corner, past the goalkeeper, who gets up and can't get back down again. Good finish. Deserved on pattern of play. Pattern of play so far. Bolton have been the aggressors. Decent start. Everson will be struggling. That's because I've just wolfed down last night's leftovers from curry we had. I told you I'm strapped for time. Afternoon, Jimmy, says Dave Morwood. I'm awake. Football. Hold the blades up the ramble. Like and subscribe, please. Even you, Anel or Harry. I've got your cups. I'm going to have a drink. Apologies. Aye. Oh, Lord, Michael Brown says, Jimmy, it looks like a lot more Championship clubs are spending money than I have seen before. I guess it's because in the Championships, the players have extended to top 8 and more clubs are fancying it. Yeah, absolutely right, pal. They're seeing the opportunity and saying it's less of a gamble to spend more because we can get into an 8th place rather than 6th place. Ben says, well, I just wait and see who holds the shirt up to believe who we signed. Absolutely right. It's never a cert till they're holding the shirt. Here come Preston now. Oh, how did they fumble that? It were almost a 3 or 4 on 2 at that stage. They've rolled it along the which were the right thing to do. They rolled it along the box, and whoever it was, I think it was Callum Lang, has fumbled his footwork. He's just not good. Not good. A golden opportunity for Preston goes begging. Our under-18s are thrashing QPR 5-2. I always love when any of our teams are winning, but you have to acknowledge the level. We need Cat 1 really quickly. Scott says, you're not believing Danny on a Nell? That's twice I've mentioned it and you don't seem convinced. No, I'm not saying I don't believe Danny. I'm not saying that at all. But we've heard loads of different things, haven't we, in the news, and it's not all happened. And yeah, so I'm just reserving judgment, mate, before anything happens, to be honest. Not a professional, but a tech wizard. Absolutely right, Dave Morwood. Absolutely right. These magical fingers. And it's a lot of it is thanks to this guy. Footy Social Club, Christian. He's now doing his own Christian Talks Arsenal YouTube channel. Big Arsenal fan, big mate of mine. Everything you see on here, how it looks so nice, he has taught me everything, all the good bits that I know. So shout out to Christian. He says, mate, you're a top presenter. Not as good as you, my mate, but absolutely brilliant. And if you're not already following him on TikTok, absolutely top class presenter, Christian. Christian Talks Arsenal. I prefer you to Jord anyway, Jim, says Tom. And I know. We're not on about who's more likeable. I'm only kidding. Tom and Jord are big mates. That's just for context if anybody wants to know. The meat says, who would you sign if the options were a Nell or Suits? I'd go for Suits just because I think it's what we need. Meat. No hard feelings meant. I just miss Jord. Hey, don't worry, pal. Honestly, I don't take it harsh at all. I know what I bring and what I don't necessarily bring. Don't worry, pal. How many more signings do you think we make? At least 3, if not 4. That's what I think. Michael Brown says, Jimmy, is Suter coming or not? Leicester fans have been put up for sale. They're in debt and are being sued by Leeds. They simply can't ignore the offer for Suter unless they are holding out for more. Yeah, I'm not discussing it on stream, Michael, to be fair. And that's nothing against you, pal. I know you're asking in good faith, but I got absolutely annihilated last time for saying that Calvin Phillips were done and Harry Suter were done. And one's come true and one's not happened. Not happened. Let's call a spade a spade. It's not happened, but there are genuine reasons why it didn't happen. And the source was absolutely ironclad. So I'm just not putting myself out there on stuff that I think is happening. It's all going in Platinum Chat now. That's the way I have to do it. And yes, some might see that as an upsell. It's not. It's just because they're the people that support me the most, and I know that they know I'm saying things in good faith. Okay. Corner for Bolton. Oh, it's whipped in from a... Oh, it's knocked back across goal. I am not a great commentator, you're right, but another half volley. It's a shot. Oh, it's wide a goal, and it's going to be a goal kick. I'll tell you what, how many bites at cherry did Bolton want there from that corner? So they played it short and come back in with a near post cross. Headed back across goal. It sets up Sheehan for an half volley, and it's a shocker of a second effort from Sheehan, who's now wearing the armband for Bolton. Don't know whether that's been the case last season. As I say, it's a side I'm still getting used to. Bergzorg now for Preston. Got a little bit of space to run at the man on the left-hand side. Andrew Hughes, 34-year-old, supporting him. Bergzorg, back to Jordan Thompson. Is that the... You'll have to let me know in comments. Is that the same Jordan Thompson that was at Sheffield Wednesday youth team? I think it might be. Did he have a bit of time at Blackpool? Zeto says, Jimmy, it's not an automatic countdown for throw-ins and goal kicks. The ref will whistle and signal a countdown if he thinks the team is time waste. Okay, thank you, mate. The only automatic countdown is subs. Yeah, I think subs have got 10 seconds to get off, haven't they? Otherwise, the sub has to stay off for a minute, which I think is huge. We saw that in the cup game last week that we watched, Borough Lancashire came off, and his replacement, can't remember it off the top of my head, had to wait off the pitch for a minute. So I think that's, again, good. Don't mind it at all. Ruros says, score prediction for this game, Jimmy? You may think I'm joking, but people on stream will back me up by saying I did call 1-0 Bolton, but it could be more than that now. Damsidor says, yeah, Fulham looks like an outdated club. Nothing much happens. Bournemouth eclipsed them. I just think Marco Silva was such a constant there, and I think it might be a little bit of the David Moyes effect at West Ham, where, and you know, it happened to Kirbishley at Charlton, and there's loads of examples through the year. That's a throwback, in it, that Kirbishley Charlton example, but where you not get comfortable with the manager, not really taken for granted either, but I think they are the ones that are holding everything together to a degree. It's just untested now with Fulham, and I think Marco Silva's had them overachieving for years, and we'll see. We'll see if that can continue. But I do think Leeds will be better this year. I think Forest will be better this year. I'd love to think that one of the promoted. I don't care who it is. I honestly don't, because I've no dog in the fight really. But I think Cov are best equipped to have a real go at it. So Fulham might be in trouble for me. Sky Blue says that. Hang on. That Caleb Celeb, the new Ghana lad, was unreal against Monaco last night. He's way too good for us. Real Madrid were sniffing in Jan. They'll regret that. Coventry will sell him for 50 plus. Very good, mate. Very good. Ardy says, even as a Leeds fan, I'm listening to you. I like listening to you. You're entertaining. That's all that matters. Thank you, my mate. Appreciate that. Very kind thing to say. What minute and second are you on, Jim? I am on. So this is slightly behind the timer that we've got here. I'm on 23 and 20 seconds. 21, 22. Osmaich down the left-hand side does well. Oh, and it's just cleared by Bolton. Did well there, Osmaich. Don't like him, as is probably evident, but did well. Super Sharp Blade says, apparently, Anel's wife has posted on social media driving her car playing Just Can't Get Enough. And I just can't seem to get enough of do 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 Ahmed Hodzic. That was a Sheffield United chant for him. I don't know if that's followed him elsewhere. And I know other teams do it for different players. But yeah, I saw that was posted and then deleted. I also saw his dad posted something similar. So there is. But I think you have to understand as well. Here come Preston. Oh, Bolton can't get it clear yet. They've just managed to scramble it. Oh, it's a lovely ball out. Oh, Thierry Gale now. On the left, one-on-one, has a shot. What a goal that is. 2-0 Bolton. A lovely counter-attack. Well done. Well done. Tell you what, Everson again does not look happy, but to be honest, it looks like it's one that Everson can't really do much with. He goes across the goalkeeper. It's bottom right-hand corner from the left-hand side. It's a lovely break. A great through ball. I think it's who's put through ball? Who? I'll have a look in a minute, but yeah, he absolutely. It's a lovely goal. It was a through ball from John McAtee, of course it was. And he has Valentine on toast. Absolutely on toast. And he's looked good, Thierry Gale. He's looked good. Okay. Where were we? Where were we? Oh, I found us. Oh, yes. We're talking about Anel. So Anel Ahmed Hodzic, but this is relevant to all clubs at this stage. Players, agents, all this sort of stuff, even family members, will use clubs, transfer speculation, the interest in other players or the desired interest from other clubs to leverage their own position. If, for example, as reported by Fabrizio Romano, they want an Elak Medhodzic. If he teases a link to Sheffield United, whether that's directly, indirectly, or his agent touts him to United, it tells Southampton, don't just go in with a wishy-washy offer because he's got other interest in him. A little bit like if we're after Harry Souttar and Wrexham have got him on a long list and they are sort of pseudo bidding for him, but they really want Faulkner. They are using Souttar to get Faulkner, but then Leicester are using Wrexham to up our bid. So it's all a huge game of chess. So yes, I've seen that there's hints and things like that, but it all feeds into the bigger game, the bigger chess game that we're playing here. Thompson with a foul. It is frustration, as they're saying on commentary. Preston have looked poor here, I have to say. Bolton a good value for this 2-0 lead. Poor goalkeeping for me, says Bullet. Absolutely right. Great goal. Bolton's time is now for a good impression. Well done, says Damsido. Horrendous defending. That's what happens when you shoot. Cough, cough. Callum O'Hare. That's exactly what we're nudging at, to be fair. Some which you'll know all about. Sam Dolby, former Wrexham player. He's done okay, to be honest. I still think they need a bit more. But 2-0, less than half an hour in. Can't complain, can you? Is there a watch-along for today's game? No, pal, I'll be at the game today. I'll be at the game. I'll be doing all Sheffield United away games as watch-alongs this season. Matty says, personally, I think Lampard could be the next England manager. He has all the assets to be successful. Personal combo of Tuchel and Southgate, in my opinion. Hope you're good, Jim. Football is finally back. Love it. I'm good, thank you, pal. I hope you are too. Although Michael Brown says, Jimmy, do you really think Sheffield United made a good go of it in the Premier League? Oh, it's Jack Bonham just clears the ball under pressure. When you look at the players Sunderland and Leeds have strategically targeted and how much they were prepared to invest. I think sometimes we've had a really good go, Michael, and other times we've sort of fudged it a little bit and sort of half tried to bank some of the money and getting some cheap deals, and sometimes not done some very smart deals. But also in the Premier League, particularly when you're having a little bit of a go, you need a bit of luck. There was a time when Forest spent 250 million quid and survived on something like last day at season. If they'd have gone down, they'd have been in a world of trouble, an absolute world of trouble. And because they survived, they've kicked on. So luck has a lot to do with it. Bolton is yesterday's Blackburn, defying the odds for a draw at the end for me. Not sure. Not sure. Dad says Coventry, Ipswich and Hull all coming straight back down so we can win the league 27-28 and Hull could beat Derby's record. Ipswich might have a chance, but over the season, all are too weak over the season. CJ says, would the sell-on we included on the sale of Anel not give us some leverage in at the negotiation table? Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Because obviously it's less money that we'd have to pay him. Arda says Fulham have looked decent in pre-season in terms of patterns of play. Crystal Palace look more suspect. Bournemouth are sticking to the high press, high intensity style that can backfire on you. I don't rate Lampard. I think he'll be fired by Christmas. Interesting. Interesting. Steve says, I'm a Leeds fan, but I'm addicted to Blades Ramble. You are good. Simples. Thank you, my mate. Thank you. Who finishes higher this season, Blades or Trotters? Blades. Blades. My honest opinion is Blades, even though they've looked very good here. I think we finish above all the promoted sides. I think we have a much better season than people believe we'll have. If we're not, I'll be amazed if we don't finish 10th at the lowest. And that might be me doing a cal. Mate, that young Blades are 6-2 up now for under 18s against QPR. Hi, Jim from 37 Degrees. Zanti. Oh, nice, Phil. You doing any work with Joe at Turfcast? Good to have you guys back. Up the Clarets. I'm certainly open to it, pal. No danger at all. Like Joe, like his content. Obviously, you guys got promoted, so that's why we didn't work together anymore. But I haven't really spoken to him for a little while either, to be honest. But no issue with that. If you want to give him a nudge, or I might drop him a message. We'll sort something out, I'm sure. Thoughts on, it's got to be right though. I'm trying to get the right balance of content because it's a new channel. I don't just want to throw stuff out without any purpose. The whole point of the Blades Ramble started not as a business; it were a hobby. So I wanted every bit of content that we put out to have purpose and have value, and I still want that for this, even though, you know, it's a wider channel. I would love to have a show with Joe. We've got a show with Carl and Connor. We've got, you know, other people that we're talking about working with. We've had Ben HD on, but it's got to be a worthwhile reason. So, you know, not just to get them on so that you can say you've had them on. Oh, it's another cross in from Bolton. Everson going balmy with defence for not stopping the cross, but it's Thierry Gale again, causing all sorts of problems. KBB says, thoughts on Derby hijacking a deal with Reyes Cleary from Bristol? 5 mil bid. Is it? Okay. 5 mil will probably get it done, to be honest. I think you could probably go cheaper if there wasn't a bidding war, despite what my mate says. But yeah, it's a risk. It's a risk. It really tailed off second half of last season, despite what you may hear. But one good performance against Liverpool. Yes, high potential. Wouldn't mind him at Sheffield United at all, but we're not going to spend that sort of money on him. Yeah, you need somebody to replace BBD, but won't. What's his name? Kid you've just signed. What he play there? Bobby Clark. But he played it the same side as BBD, didn't he? So maybe that works. Was it a good goal? Yes, it was a good goal, Alf. The second goal was a good... Both goals have been well worked. I think Everson will be disappointed with the first one. He's parried it straight out to Sam Dolby. But the second goal was a really good punchy counter-attack from Bolton. Lyle Thomas and Elek Madhodzic is an option for Southampton, who are facing interest from Benfica and others in Taylor Howard-Bellis and Sheffield United over a return to Bramall Lane, says Scott. Centre-back keen to return to England and Saints leading the race as things stand. There you go. Adam says, Southampton kicked out of the playoff final, -4 points deducted. Man City spending money like water, 0 points deducted. Have to love the FA. You do. Bournemouth ground is like 14k though. Blades now 7 up. What a strike, says Thom. Championship is championshiping so far, isn't it? Thom, that's why we love it, pal, innit? We absolutely love this league. There's no like it. Not like it. Finish, says Yonan. Navarre. 7-3 now. That's a great game, that, Ben, that you're watching. Jamie says, Southampton admitted to cheating. Man City never have and are fighting it, though. Same as Everton. Chelsea, etc. got punished too. I think they will be made to pay a financial penalty, Man City. And that will be that. Thom says, I think I'm going to retire from betting because I'm currently at 0-2. Yeah, I know, mate. I know. Michael Brown says, Jimmy, will hydration breaks be brought into the matches? I think, from what Gaz was saying, and things may have changed, but again, we'll be asking Gaz these questions when he comes on for his weekly show with us. At 26 degrees and higher, there is a health and safety aspect that says they will likely introduce drinks breaks if the temperatures are at that level during the game. But if it's lower than that, then no, it'll be normal business. Here come Bolton again into the box. Thierry Gale. Oh, floated in. It's 3-0. Is he offside? He's offside. He's offside. Wowzers. Another lovely worked goal from Bolton that's obviously not... It's been chalked off, but... Chalked off, that's a bit twee, innit? That's a bit... Villa survived through a VAR malfunction on the last day. Yes, they did, mate. Yes, they did. I can see Hull going close to Derby's record. We needed a lot more players. I don't know about that. I think you can't... Well, I'll tell you something. If these two games so far haven't... I know the Championship is amazing and the Premier League is a lot more predictable usually. But if this hadn't told you that football is brilliant and not to expect an absolute layup in every single game, nobody had Bolton rushing into a 2-0 lead here. And certainly nobody had a 2-2 last night with Wolves having to rescue a draw. You can't just... I mean, we predict it every week, don't we? But that's part of the fun because we know we're never going to get it absolutely bang on. Full-time Blades win 7-3. Wow. Do Hull reach double digits in points this year? I'm going to say yeah. Yeah, I think they will. Tim says, if Wrexham make a bid for Suter and his preference is the Blades, surely the player has a say in whether he goes there or not. But then, in that circumstance, Tim, we would also have to make an offer that's... oh, here come Preston. Bergzorg, and it's a lovely challenge. Chris Farino blocks the shot, and it's out for a corner. Lovely run from Bergzorg. Does everything right, but it's a lovely sliding block from Farino. In the back of the Farino. Is that some 41 that I keep going back to? So, yeah, sorry, with Wrexham, we would need to match Wrexham's bid, because otherwise Leicester will say, no, we're only taking this bid. And then it's a question of wages as well, isn't it, other than desire of where to go. I'm not convinced. Look, we could offer slightly lower wages, and I think he'd still choose Sheffield United just because of his affinity, and he's already given his word, but we'll see. Preston looked truly awful, says John, I can't lie. When will VAR come to other leagues in England, says Michael. I don't think it'll be that long. I mean, it's... hang on. Corner to Preston. Oh! Hughes with a free header, but it's on edge at box. Came in with a late run. Thierry Gale again, the man on the counter, but it's a poor ball. Looking for John McAtee. It were too short. Played it too light. That's Megs McAtee then. It's Preston come again, and it's well stopped there by Fatawu. Stops the through ball towards Majic. I love the Championship. So pleased it's back. Can't wait for this afternoon for our game. Thierry Gale, who has been an absolute thorn in their side. Oh! McAtee with a shot from outside the box. It's just over the bar. They're just saying Thierry Gale's playing like Thierry Henry. It's fair. Sorry, when will VAR come to other leagues? I think the only issue with VAR is the FA clearly love it. Absolutely love it. But they're saying they were a push for the disallowed goal. But it's a case of finance, isn't it? Who's gonna man it? Who's gonna install it? Have they got the tech at these grounds? Have Accrington Stanley got enough money to put this in? Have Sheffield Wednesday got 2 pennies to rub together to implement tech like this? I don't think they have. I know when we went up to the Premier League, we had to spend millions on our infrastructure to be able to satisfy the media demands of the Premier League as well. So it's not as straightforward as just saying, yes, you're going to start having it. Maybe in the Championship. It wouldn't surprise me if it's in the Championship within 3 or 4 years. Sky Sports reporting Southampton lead the race for Anel. Interested FC. Thierry Gale has been class this game, says Yonan. Yes, he has. Jimmy, when are you next on live with the Sandy Toxvig lookalike? I don't think I do much live content with Cal. I don't do much live content, but obviously we've got stuff coming out all week that we've recorded already, and then I'll be filming with him on Wednesday again. Daz says, I must say to my gaffer, once it goes over 26 degrees, I have to have another break. It's been close to 30 since the heatwave started in my job, especially when all the UV lamps are on, sweating like a dog. The table is wrong, says Blades Lad. Don't surprise me, to be honest. It'll get sorted. 3 games going on in League One, 7 goals. 1 game is 0-0 too. Interesting. Reading are beating Luton 3-0. Wow. This is what I mean. Everybody fancies Luton to do well, me included. 2-1 MK Dons too, says Jamie. Afternoon all. What have I missed so far? A good game, Tom. A good game. Tom's one of our mods in our new Discord server. Thank you to Tom for his efforts. I'm hoping to see him down at beautiful downtown Bramall Lane this evening, I suppose you'd say. Later on this afternoon. VAR will never come to lower than the Championship unless someone else funds it. or they have a more cost-effective solution. Absolutely right. Zeto says VAR is so good when used correctly. A lot of the times they forget to use it. Only when there's a clear and obvious error. Too often it's used to re-referee. I agree. I think they become too reliant on it as well. Not only that, but you don't just need somebody to monitor the VAR at the game. Everybody at Stockwell Park, you'll have to have, how many games are there? 50? There's 92 teams, isn't there? So there's 46 games going on. Not obviously usually all at the same time, but you're going to have at least about 40 different VAR teams to look through it. I'm not sure it's practical. I remember when Luton got promoted with us and they had to spend 10 mil just to get a stadium up to Prem standard. Exactly right, mate. Jamie says, yeah, if you've never been in the Prem or not been in for a long period of time, there's new rules you've got to do with infrastructure. I don't know if it's still there, but there used to be one of those rules for coming in out of the National League into the conference, and there's been teams like, I want to say Macclesfield, but it might be wrong. It's been teams that haven't met the parameters of what the league expects like a ground standard to be at, and they've not been promoted because of it. They've not allowed them to, continue with that promotion into the league because they weren't feasibly ready for league football to the standards that have been set, which is really harsh. But obviously, I suppose there's got to be a standard, hasn't there? Okay. Preston have woken up a little bit, but Bolton, it's like a subconscious thing, I think, when you get to 2-0. They don't have to go as hard. And it's a dangerous, I always say this, and my dad texts me, I think it's the most dangerous scoreline to have. Because if Preston score next, Bolton are really nervous. The crowd's really nervous. So they'll be desperate to score before half-time. And that will really throw a spanner in works. But here come Bolton now with Stevenson down right-hand side. It's just a long ball for Laraza Babablabu, the new signing. But it's out of play. So it's a Preston throw. Use it. Sends it down the line. Bolton the header. Preston recover. Then it's hoofed clear. And Bolton recover it. Back to Bonham. Bonham. Long ball downfield then from Jack Bonham. I am so excited about this season, I have to say. Just doing all these, it gets me really, I don't know, amped up. I feel like I'm getting to know the teams as I'm watching them as well, which is really, obviously, it's better for my knowledge of the league, but the content as well. Sam Dolby does well there. Gale, outside of his foot, sends Dolby down. Thierry Gale. Tell you what, Sheffield United could do a lot worse. Who is this Thierry Gale? Preston come forward. Oh, it's cut out well. Let's have a look at old Gale here. So he is 24-year-old left winger, right-footed left winger from Barbados. So he's gonna talk really cool, man. I can't. I don't know what the accent is. He joined last year, so we're there in League One with them. Contract till 2029. Got him from Rapid Vienna for a fee of around 600 grand. But it's more than that now. Interesting. Looks really good. I like the look of him. We're into 1 minute of added time, and my scoreboard's slightly behind. We're actually at 4-3-2, and it's going for a goal kick. So this will be it. This will be half time as soon as it's taken. And he doesn't even let him kick it, and he blows, which is smarter. Why would you let everybody set and then just not blow it? Camera immediately goes to Thierry Gale, who has been outstanding for Bolton, I have to say. Dolby got the first goal. Gale got the second. Yeah, it's been a really good... I think McAtee's looked lively as well for Bolton. A deserved 2-0 lead at half-time, which it will update to in a minute. If it don't, I can do it manually. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at where we are in the comments. What have you thought to that first half? I've enjoyed it. I've been slightly surprised at the difference between the two sides. There we go, half-time. John says they need to introduce goal line technology as mandatory to League One and below before they start messing around with VAR in the lower leagues. Yeah, I think that's fair. That's the one where the ref's got a watch on and they're to chip inside the ball, isn't there? And obviously it's all monitored over how far it crosses the line. Yeah, I think that's the next natural step of tech coming into the EFL. Every broadcaster on YouTube could be used as a VAR official. I can't get my stream right when I come on sometimes, damn it. So I'm not sure I'd be trustworthy to utilise tech for a proper game. KBB says that the Saudi that was going to buy Derby pulled out, Turkey Al Sheikh, and now I'm hearing Leicester is up for sale. Leicester are up for sale. I wonder if he's changed his mind and he's now going after Leicester. I don't think he is. I think Leicester are overvaluing themselves, to be honest. I think they want about 200 million. It's already come down from 450 million to 200 million. I've explained a little bit about the Harry Suter thing how that affects the Harry Suter thing in our Platinum chat. Leicester definitely best club to buy right now. League One and huge club. Lol, says Jamie, the Leicester fan. Not sure how much owners ask for, though. I don't think Turkey will be in for Leicester, is all I'll say. I don't think so. I don't know. Obviously, I've never spoken to him in my life. But Anel, Suter, Tanganga, Burrows and Sariki across the back. Yes, please. Day ones. That is crackers. I like that Stevenson for Bolton. He's good, I think. Yeah, he's looked decent, hasn't he? He's looked decent. Would you take Anel back? Yeah, I'd take him back. He's an improvement on what we've got. Of course I would. And when I say I prefer Suter, it's not because Anel's not a good player. But, yeah, if the question is Suter on a perm or Anel loan or even Anel perm, I want Suter because of what we need at the moment, in my opinion. Jimmy, say you're excited for this season, but Sheffield United are going down. That's an absolutely outrageous. Do you want a little... I won't have a monetary bet, but I'll bet you just in bragging rights that is not going to happen. Absolutely no chance. Who do you support? Yonan? Sorry if I'm not saying your name right. You'll have to let me know. Yeah, Leeds boy. Bertie says, Worthing, who got promoted to the National League, I assume you mean, had an Astro pitch due to low maintenance and had to spend loads just to tear it up and buy a pitch maintenance team. Yeah, it's shocking, isn't it? Shocking. I get it. I get it, though. It's just you know the rules before, so you can prepare earlier over a longer period of time. It just feels unjust when you've won it on the field and you then can't enjoy it. Borough have announced Ashley Phillips on a permanent deal. Another really good deal for Borough. Really good. I tell you what, I was worried about them when they lost Dale Fry and Hayden Hackney for a combined 16.5 million, because obviously Fry goes on a free. Ever since they've got that Morgan Rogers money, bought Lancashire, bought Vitek, bought Phillips. I really like what they're doing with their cash. Really like it. Not too sure Preston has got it in them now to play high scoring results. Yeah, it's going to be tough, innit? It's going to be tough. Bolton deserve to be 2 up, says Sam. Preston haven't got going. I agree with that too. John says Bolton have been good. However, I'm not sure if that's more on Bolton or Preston being utterly useless. HR says, if Wilder is in the bottom half of the table by Christmas, are you sacking him? No, I'm not personally, because I think there's a lot of work to do at Sheffield United. But if he's in bottom 6, for example, then I can definitely see it happening. I support Plymouth, says Yonan. I watch you, Cal, and Connor every video that comes out. Thank you, my mate. It's very much appreciated. It's very much appreciated. Right, and before we get on to any more, I'm going to have a little word from our sponsors. We need to talk about Oxford Natural. I am £30 down in my fitness journey. It's not been a quick fix. There's no magic wand. I am back in the gym. I have made lifestyle changes, but I'm also fueling my body with the right things. So I am taking the Optimum Day and Optimum Night, and they have now launched a new formula. The Optimum Day now has 7 active ingredients, so you're still getting the 3 that you had previously: berberine, guarana, and green tea extract. You're now getting 4 more elements added to that, including lion's mane, which I've been keen to try for a little while anyway. So that will now support brain function and focus, cognitive health and brain performance, alertness and physical performance, as well as supporting fat metabolism and energy production. We already know that Robbie Lyle of AFTV has found a lot of success by utilising Oxford Natural. He is now £100 down. Michael Owen has lost £40. We've also improved Optimum Night. That now has 6 active ingredients as opposed to the original 3. We've still got the berberine, the magnesium and the ashwagandha, but they've now added 3 more, helping clear the mind and promoting deeper, more relaxing sleep, which should hopefully balance out your cravings. So if you're interested in trying them, there's a link in the description below, and make sure you use the code BR70 to get up to 70% off your first order. I want to say thank you to Oxford Natural for their continued support of the channel and also the journey that they're taking me on as well. But for now, back to the video. Nice one. Thank you to Oxford Natural for their continued support of the channel. I am over 2 stone down now. I was 2.5 stone, but since Mrs. has been away, I'm another £2 up. So yeah, I'm £2 off being 2.5 stone. But yeah, it's all going well, and thank you to everybody that's had really kind comments from me about it as well. Is it a Nell or Suits? Says Bob. Don't know, mate. Don't know. We'll have to wait and see. By the way, Yonan, do you think? Oh, well done for saying my name right. He says. Good. Plymouth. Dark horses for the League One title this year, maybe. We'll have to wait and see. I hope so. That lad from Barnsley should stick to what he knows. Whippets and coal mines. This is Sophie, my daughter. It was a little bit burnt on your face, aren't you, from your holiday? Do you want to say hello to everybody? Hello. Yeah, so we're watching Bolton versus Preston. It's a good game, actually. You see that? This is on our championship channel now. Red Bull gives you 1. Says 10 million is crazy for Suter, who only played 2 league games last season. I choose a Nell instead. Up the blades. It's not 10 million, pal. We're not going to 10 million. Berberine lowers sugar, I heard. Possibly. Does it, Soph? Don't know. Jim, well done for saying my name right. Says you good. I'm like it. Very rare that people say my name right first time. Big up Jim losing 2 stone. I think Heyman needs the Oxford Natural. Been using Oxford Natural, haven't I, Soph? No. It's because I've got it in my vitamin box over there. Adam says Villa was not a VAR malfunction. If I remember rightly, it was goal line technology that has been around for years. Yes, it was. It was Hawkeye. Yeah, absolutely right. That's fair to say. Hi, Jimmy, says Ricky. Hope you're well. It's going to be a fantastic championship season. Can't wait. Best of luck to the Blades. Up the Ramble, marching on together. So that's a Leeds fan. What do we think? What do we think to Leeds fans, sir? Usually, but this is a nice Leeds fan. Nice. Because this one is for all clubs, and to be honest, anybody's welcome to come on anyway. It's just on the Blades Ramble. They know we're just going to be talking about Sheffield United, really. Maybe look good. To be honest, this is about Plymouth's chances. You think, and a lot of momentum. Yeah, and Cleverly's got a little bit of momentum now, auntie, as well. Hello, Sophie, says Dave. Yay. Weight loss is never straightforward, mate. Looking good. Thank you, pal. Yeah, it's in, and I've got to get my head around that. I was just saying, Sophie, while you and Mummy and Ems have been away, I've put £2 back on. So I'm like, I've done really well with like losing a lot of weight. I've got a little bit heavy, a tiny bit heavier since you've come back. I was at 2.5 stone, and now I'm just over 2. Well, I'm quite a bit over 2 stone. So some might say I wasn't eating very well while you guys were away, but I don't know if that's true. What do you think?
You did have them.
Mummy said I had a Chinese. I don't know what you mean. Bolton first, Blackburn second. Who'd have thunk that? Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. I think, not you think, I meant. I know what you meant, pal, don't worry. Zeto says, Berhalter to Borough is an under-the-radar transfer that will produce spades for them this year. He's one of those MLS players. He's high five, kid. He's one of those MLS players that will make a splash this year, like Malanda and Morris. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. A lot of people have got Borough as favourites for division. I think that's a bit of a push, but then you see how slow Wolves were to start last night. Will West Ham be slow? We don't expect what's up. It's all right, leave it open. It's fine. Cheers, kid. Will West Ham be slow to start? Maybe. They've got a really difficult fixture at Burnley. People are not taking Burnley seriously in that fixture at all. I think it's a mistake. Ben says, hi, Sophie. Bye, Sophie, now. And Phil says, afternoon, Jimmy. Well done on the weight loss. Thank you, my mate. You're looking good for it. Hope Mrs. Ramble will get you back on track with the food now. Up the Ramble. To be fair, it's my own fault. I've just indulged a little bit. I haven't gone mad at all. I haven't. But I've not been eating the right stuff. I've still kept to smaller portions, but I've just probably smaller portions of bad stuff, to be honest. Whereas normally I like to have a bit of variety. I don't not treat myself, but there's a limit in there. Yonan says, what's your predictions for Plymouth v Stockport today? I'm going to the game today. Come on, you. What's Grims, is it? Because you're the Pilgrims, aren't you? Is it? Do you call yourself the Grims? Okay. I actually think Plymouth will have a better season than last season because of the momentum that they're building and doing well under Cleverly. And I think Stockport will be slightly worse than last season. So I actually think it could be 2-1 to the Green Army. It might be come on you Greens. That might be what you go with. Jim, are you doing this for the games tomorrow? Yes, mate. I'll be here for Watford v Southampton on me Jack Jones. And then Jord Motson, the man on the call, will be joining me for Burnley versus West Ham. Brilliant. We love it. We love it. The only thing I'll miss about the promoted teams is Matt SB. Matt SB is a top lad, an absolutely top lad. I cannot tell you, like, there's a lot of people in this space, and me and Proper Football lads were just talking about this yesterday. There's a lot of people in this space, unfortunately, who are just sort of focused on what they can get from you and things like that. There's some lovely people, don't get me wrong, but there's the vast majority, and some you'd be quite surprised at, that are very cutthroat and just business-like, I suppose. And there's nothing wrong with that, because we're not all here to be friends, but I like to try and be friendly with everybody. Matt SB is one of the most genuine. I cannot be happier for somebody who has got had so much success on YouTube. It couldn't have happened to a nicer lad, honestly. I cannot say. When I lost, for those that haven't been following me a while, last July I was on holiday, and I logged on while I was on holiday to the Wi-Fi network in the villa that we were staying in. And I think that's what's thrown YouTube into a bit of haywire. There must have been somebody dodgy in there before us, because they didn't like something about it were a channel breach due to, I don't know, whatever it was. Some sort of reason the algorithm didn't like the network I was using and put it as a severe breach and whatever. Deleted my channel. I was scrambling for 2 weeks and absolutely panicking. And I had to go to loads of lengths to get it back. Matt SB were first person on blower to me and sort of, right, this is what we're going to do to get your channel. And I didn't know him that well. I think I'd done one video with him at that point. But he always, whenever he don't always watch, but whenever he watches us, he's in the chat supporting us. He'll give us a shout out on his channel, which is huge for smaller creators like me. Just a really, really good person. So yeah, I will miss him too, and I'm glad. Not only is he getting success with his channel, but success with his team as well. That's why when I think, because we've got some great Coventry supporters that come and join us on these streams, you can't judge a fan base just based on their X following, because everybody's got nutters on X. You're a fantastic dad, Jimmy. Oh, thank you, mate. Thank you. That is my number one aim in life. Obviously, I love the thought of being successful in my career, which I really enjoy. But being the best dad I can be is the absolute number one priority. And being the best husband, close second. Damsey Doe says, I predict a team starting with B to make auto promotion or playoffs. Plenty of B teams. Borough, Borough. That's slightly cheating, but I know what you mean. Ben says, I'm guessing there is no watch along for the game today, Jimmy. No, sorry, but I think I've said this a few times. I think you've asked more than once, but we're off for the second half, by the way. We've just kicked off. I'm at the game today, so there's no watch along for it. Jim, you, Cal, and Connor should do this together, live streams for the games. We have talked about it. But big time Cal, he's been bought out, hasn't he? He's been bought out. We can't do championship content with Cal as a host, because he's been bought out by the Pyramid. So he's contractually unable to host championship content with us. He can still appear on this channel with me as a guest, and I can still appear on his channel. He's doing an EFL calling show, and he wants me and Connor to be part of that EFL calling show through Discord, which is great. We can still do little bits together, but we can't. Proper Football was a dedicated championship channel, and basically what they've done is the Pyramid wants to corner that market. So, and they're both very good. Look, Tom Garrett's a brilliant presenter, and Cal's one of the best, probably the best EFL pundit out there for me. So, if, and this is a big if, says Mark, we sell a left back, does Wilder look at Jack Robinson? I hope not. He's not a left back anyway, is he, Mark, really? I know he can play there, and he did early on in his career, but I think he's seen as a centre half these days. If you saw the performance against us for Birmingham that he had last season, if we didn't already know. Time check, says Isaac. We're on 40. Well, this clock says 46, 29, 30. I'm actually on 46, 46, 47, 48 on the actual clock. So there we go. Right. Caught up on the comments. It's going well, isn't it? I'm enjoying it. I hope you guys are too. You might not be, but I am. So that's half the battle, you know. I always think that with content creators, an easy trap to fall into is doing content because you think it's what people want. And obviously that plays a part in it. You want to put out content that people want, but if you don't enjoy it yourself, I think it shines through. There's so many boring people out there that are just going through motions with stuff. And I'm not saying I'm not boring at times or whatever, but I think you can always see whether somebody's authentic or not, or at least engaged with what they're doing. You know, I don't always think Connor's that interested in some of the games he covers, but because he's enthusiastic about it and he gets into it, it's a really good watch. So even if he's like, oh, I can't be bothered covering Brentford and Bournemouth today, but once he's watching it, he don't make you feel like he's bored. Whereas I don't think I'd be able to put out, like, not that he puts it on, but he just really throws himself into it, because I think if I'm honest, I think he's best out of the proper football boys. He's the best presenter of the three of us. So I'm probably a bit of a mix. I think he's best presenter, Cal's best pundit, and I'm probably middling in both. But there you go. I think the chemistry is key, though, isn't it? Afternoon, Jim, says Sheila's Wheels. Looking well, my friend. Thank you very much. Hope you're good. Hoping for some positive news over the weekend regards Big H. Not too keen on an L, though. Reckon 1-1 at the Lane today. Okay, we'll see. Let's have a look. I will bring that comment up. It's a Preston free kick about 25 yards out. 3 men stood over it. It's a routine kick, but it's blocked by the onrushing wall. Oh, what are you doing, sir? What's up? Okay. Don't worry about it. You all right? Okay. And now it's a long ball downfield for McAtee to chase. He hits it on the half volley. Oh, it's just wide of the far post. Do you see that, Soph? Watch this. Well, he runs straight through from goal. Hits it from edge at box. Oh, you could have done that today. It is a bit like Violet W's goal today. How do you rate Burnley's chances to go up at the expense of the Hammers or Wolves, says Damsey, though? I can't flip-flop with it, and particularly not on one game. I am worried about Burnley being further behind than the other two at the minute, because I think they've sold a lot more, and they haven't quite got the depth of the other two, because they were more established Premier League clubs. I tell you what, you've got to be doing better there. Alfie Devine. Ball comes to him at far post. He hits it on the volley into the ground, but it's way over the bar. But who knows? Wait, season started, damns it up. Who knows, mate? Not entirely sure, if I'm honest. Reckon 1-1 at the... Oh, sorry, Sheila, I read that. Not going to lie, I don't like Connor, says RD. He's the only Leeds creator I actively avoid. Fair enough. It's horses for courses. You can't like everybody. I can tell you, he's very genuine. It's not like... I have... Unfortunately, I have very few friends in the space, but I class Cal and Connor as my mates, in like mates. So you get burnt very easily, and they have no reason to give me time of day really, because Connor's on 60,000 subs, Cal's on 50,000 subs, and he will only continue to rock it. I sometimes wonder why they give me time of day, but it's a bit of a confidence boost to me that they do. They obviously feel like I bring something to the table as well. So both really good lads, really good and loyal as well. So Burnley's first 5 or 6 fixtures are hard too, says Jamie. I think they've got all teams problem. I think they've got all the teams that'll probably be in the top 8 to start. I don't think we play them that early, Sheffield United. Long ball downfield. Preston see it out for a throw. So what you'd expect here is, this second half, how things usually go in these circumstances is, Bolton are 2-0 up at home. I don't expect them to be foot on the gas now. I expect Preston to control more of the possession, because they have to force the issue. They have to try and come at them. And I expect Bolton to sit back, soak it up, and try and catch Montbray, which they have already done once or twice. But a really good performance so far from Bolton. Hey, ho, here she go. Either a little too high or a little too low. No self-esteem and vertigo. She thinks she's made of candy. Here come Bolton again. There we go. Barry says, Connor's my favourite content creator. I love him. If it wasn't for Connor, I would never have found this channel. Top man. You'll do for me, Baz. You'll do for me. Oh. McAtee with a cross from right hand side. Got to the byline, but it's wide a goal. On the Leeds side says RD. I think Jer from Leeds View, the square ball, and Leeds lately are pretty good. I know Jer. I don't know him to speak to, but I know of Jer. I went to school with one at Square Ball, lads. Michael Normanton. He's a really good lad. Leeds lately, I don't know. But again, I can't keep up with everyone. I really struggle to keep up even with my pals. And I'll be honest, I don't like to, this sounds odd to a lot of people, but I don't like to watch other people's stuff that much, because I don't want it to influence my opinions on things. So I don't mind obviously going back and forth for content with Cal and Connor, and I know how they feel about certain things. But I don't like when they're doing their league predictions or game week predictions. I don't want to watch their stuff before I do mine, because I don't want to be influenced by what they have to say. I want to give mine raw and then see whether they agree with me or not. So I tell someone else I love watching, Ben HD. I know he just come on the channel, but I wouldn't have people on channel who I didn't rate anyway. Ben HD is really good, particularly around transfer times. His favourite stuff my favourite stuff that he does is his transfer window updates. Really good stuff. So there you go. If you're looking for any more channels to check out, please do subscribe here while you're here as well, if that's all right. Like the video if you're enjoying the content. Promoted says, I can't believe Cal terminated his contract to go to the low league. No loyalty in football nowadays. We didn't have a contract with him. No, he signed a contract that says he can't present any championship content for anyone else other than pitch side. So, but he can be a guest. There's little loopholes that we can get round, but it just meant that as he was one and is 1/3 of proper football, we can't cover the championship with him as a host. So we had a choice whether we lose Cal from the pod or we switch what we cover, and we chose to switch what we cover. So because I've got good chemistry with Connor, I've got good chemistry with Cal, they've got good chemistry together. I think as a three, it's a really good dynamic. So, and we've all signed up with the same agent now, which is mad. Talk about bloody hanging on to people's coattails. I am there. I am there. I am clinging on. My fingernails are deeply into their two's coattails. So yeah, it's been great. It's been really good. I love working with him, I have to say, because it's a laugh. It's not like work, is it? It's not. It's never lost on me. Stevenson's just down getting some treatment here, new right back for Bolton. So they're all having a little bit of a drink and a break. It's never lost on me how lucky I am to be doing what I'm doing. I know I've worked hard for it, and people wouldn't believe the hours that I put in, but I love doing it. Absolutely love doing it. Joe says, afternoon, Jim Bob. Thoughts on Anel over Suits? 100% rather have Anel. Would have thought deal would be right up Bettis' street with him being an accountant. Sell on fee we have getting us a better deal. I think it's a better deal financially for us. Yeah, that's all I'll say. I think is Anel what we need next to Tanganga? I would prefer Suter, if I'm honest. I'd also heard initially, this is last night though. In fact, this was 3 days ago. Is it 3 or 2 days ago? Platinum Ramsel tell me, but that Anel was a loan. It was a Plan B loan, so we'll see. Sheffield United will finish 18th, says Jamie. Sometimes you just kill your own credibility with a crazy shout. Unbelievable. Allardyce days at Bolton were some of the best runs they ever had. Absolutely right, they were. He's walking off the pitch, Stevenson, but it looks like he's doing it of his own volition. So it looks like he's just he's had a bit of a bang, and he looks like he's going to come back on. Claret Merger says, slightly disappointing you won't be doing championship football on proper football anymore. It was top quality content. But I have to say, we all cover the championship on our own channels. Connor does a little bit. I think he's going to lean into it a little bit more because we're covering Prem on proper football. And those two will be on my channel every week doing a show called Take Your Pick. We're going to be on Cal's channel doing an EFL calling show. I'm going to be on Connor's channel doing a championship, something else. So you will still be able to get your championship content. Like I said, there's loopholes into what we're doing. We've thought about it carefully. We've made sure pitch side are all right with it because we don't want to get Cal in any bother. It's an unbelievable opportunity for him. And I think that number one listen to a podcast this week, it's well deserved. They're absolutely top class. You can't. It's the way things work. It's the way things are, and we accept that. So, and ultimately, if we're thinking about it sensibly, just as Preston have a header that's not easily saved by Bonham, if we're honest about it, Cal's one of us. We own a company. Proper Football is a proper company where we're all part owners of it. So we're not going anywhere. And as Cal's profile continues to soar, then we get a rub from that by association, don't we, as well, really? So not only is he our mate and we always want him to do well, we will also benefit from, if he doubles in followers and then he's still seen on our channels, it helps us as well. And he'll deserve that anyway because he's good enough. And he's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Con's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. You might like one of the three of us and watch for that reason. And it still gets us all, it benefits us all, essentially. So there is method to it. Jimmy singing Robbie Williams was not on my bingo card today. Bertie, you have not been here that long then, have you? Because I am a bit of I'm not a bit of a singer. That's the wrong thing to say. I like to sing, even though I can't sing. Here comes Thierry Gale again. Oh, it's a lovely shot, and it's just high and wide, but he is some player. I cannot wait. As soon as I get in that platinum chat, I can tell you now, it'll all be, can we not go for Thierry Gale for this left winger? Can we not get Thierry Gale? Because he is the 15 minutes of fame boy, isn't he? He does look class, though. Jared says, ever thought about doing some content with Gio from West Ham? Messaged him, he didn't reply. Do you want my honest answer to that? Messaged him, he did not reply. So, yes, I have thought about it. But, you know. Suitor or an L, Jim? Suitor for me, pal. Suitor for me. I know some people are joining later. So I have been asked that question about 6 times, but it's Suitor for me. Reading 3, Luton 2. That must be some game, that, Sam. Murphy says, I found your channels through Joe when we beat United 5-0 a couple of years ago. Don't remember that. Yeah, Joe's a top lad as well. But as I said, just not spoken to him circumstantially more than anything else. So, more than happy to work with him again. Barry says, it's like a stand-up comedian not wanting to watch other comedians in case they are influenced. I subconsciously repeat their jokes. Yeah, I suppose. It does subconsciously stick with you, though. I've watched them since, and I can agree with the points that they're making, but I don't want it to influence me directly. I'd rather just give me honest opinions, because I always want to be authentic. That's my USP. I don't prep for anything, which the hate that I turn up to these recording sessions and I haven't prepped. And you might see it as unprofessional, but I just want to be completely off the cuff. I don't script anything. I haven't got time to. We're doing so much content. So yeah, that's how I like to be, pal, to be honest. Oh, it's going to be a corner ball, I think. Yeah, it is. Corner to Preston. Why isn't Rodriguez playing for Bolton? Just noticed. Don't know. So has Tom Garrett left pitch side? No, pitch side own the pyramid. It's part of the pyramid show that they're now doing. It's part of pitch side. Luke says, off out in a minute. Going to try the Watt bar and may drop into triple point for the first time on a match day. Hit the like button, people. Luke, it'd be great if you did, pal. We'll be there. ATB's picking me up at 3 o'clock. So we'll see you there, pal, if you decide to drop in. Promoted says, you and Connor were always my favourite anyways. Thank you, mate. Barry says, it's like a stand... Oh, yeah, sorry. I've read that. I think you've posted it twice. Corner comes in. Punch clear. Great punch clear, that, by Bonham. Bonham. Reading now 3-3 with Bolton. 2 goals in 2 minutes, 3-3. Wow. How's Suits playing, Scott, if you're still watching that? You've wrote that comment 4 times now, Baz. Luton are plucky, not half. Proper lucky. Dawn says, my husband sent me the link for Blades Ramble and he supports the other side of Sheffield. That is true love, Dawn. That is true love. So we've got owls secretly watching, have we? Thank you to Mr. Jakes, I have to say. I can't believe how low everyone rates Sheffield United. They gave us such a difficult game at Bramall Lane, and that's from a Borough fan. Luton plucky, Preston unlucky, says Damsey Doe. No, I don't think they're unlucky. I just think they've been poor. Didn't know a Nell was a loan option. Getting a Nell on loan with obligation to buy and Suits permanent would be absolutely disgusting. It's one or other, I think, pal. Come on, you red and white wizard, says Joe. Jared says, maybe he'll grow on me, but this Garrett fella isn't my cup of tea. It's going to be like that with any creator, though, isn't it, Jared? I think he does all right anyway. Whether you like him, I like him, anybody likes him, don't like him, whatever. He's very successful. And fair play to him. You've got to admire what he's done, what he's built. Try claret and booze for West Ham. That guy's pure cinema. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't know if I've seen him, but Scott says Suter loses the ball in Leicester's box and nearly concedes a penalty. Very lucky boy not to concede a pen there. Thierry Henry Gale, absolutely right. Gellart, 6.5 mil rising to 8. It's a good fee for us. Wigan pocketing just over $1 mil too. That's good for Wigan. I thought it was going to be lower than that, Dan. I think a lot of people did. I had heard around 3.5 to 4.5. So you've done well there to get that back, because I think he's only got a year left, hasn't he? Which is not bad at all. Yonan says, have you ever thought about doing content with more SHB? think he's called Bradford fan. Would make sense because of Yorkshire. Yeah, I've seen his stuff. SHD, I think it is. Don't mind him. I've seen his stuff because I've got an affinity to Bradford. Because my dad's first job in scouting were at Bradford. That's where he started with Cammy. That's why him and Cammy are such good mates, and have been for years. But yeah, my dad went on to have a 25 year career in scouting, and majority in Premier League. So I loosely follow Bradford. Obviously, my team's always going to be Sheffield United, but if we went pop tomorrow, I'd probably look out for Bradford's results. Sounds of it, we have a sell-on with a Nell, says Nige. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Oh, was Mike nearly got in there. What are you doing? Get to triple point, mate, says Bisto Brett, who's already on the ale. Oh, you're having a good one, pal. I'll see you soon, don't worry. The Luton game seems like a cracker, says Bertie. Only been here a few months, so I was not aware of your beautiful singing voice. It's not beautiful, pal, but you will have to put up with it on stream, I'm afraid. George just tends to roll his eyes, or Lee or Dave, or whoever's on with me. Alessandro says, if we could do both, it would feel natural to swap back to a back three and wing backs. That back line of Sariki, Tanganga, Suter, and Nell and Burrows feels like the best in the division. Up the Ramble, can't do both. Not a chance we'll do both. I'll be absolutely amazed if we do both. Who wins trade? Sorry, Emperor, I don't know what do you mean, pal? Let me know what you mean, and I'll answer you properly. Joe says, been thinking about joining as a Platinum Rambler for 12 months now, Jim. Is it the Rambler option for $7.99 a month, and that gives access to Plat Chat, etc.? So the Rambler is the tier below. The Platinum, if you join and pay direct, it's a straight tenner for a month, pal. So, but it's the Platinum tier on Patreon, which I think is slightly more expensive than joining direct. But if you speak to Ian, who's our main mod, the gatekeeper, in fact, you won't have his number, will you? You won't have our number. Just message us on Patreon and we'll sort something out if you're interested. But no pressure for anybody to do anything. Twice in 30 seconds, Suter got caught slacking and keeping players on side. He's too slow to push up. Not going to lie, Harry has been awful today. Does that make you second guess him as a signing, Scott, or do you just think it's because he's disinterested, which in itself is a concern, because you'd want him to be professional, wouldn't you? Watching County v Leicester, Suter looks very relaxed, shall we say. Says Tom up the blades, up the Ramble. New Bolton will be up for this game. Look a good side, says Brett. Yeah, they do. They look decent. They look comfortable at the level, don't they? But you can only beat what's in front of you is probably the best way to say it. Who wins trade? Isidore to West Ham. Juff to Sunderland. Oh, shot. And it's saved now. Nice save by Bonham. By Everson, sorry. Didn't parry it that time. So this is the trade that's proposed. Isidore to West Ham and Juff to Sunderland. Is there any money changing hands? I think they were after about 40 million for Juff, weren't they? So if it's like Isidore and 25 mil, I don't know enough about Juff, to be honest, but he's obviously very highly rated to be going for that sort of money. Leicester 1-0. Says Scott, 1-0 Leicester. Could Bristol City surprise many this season? If they beat Millwall, won't be shocking. Right, Damsido, Bristol City. I have got them down to beat Millwall today. I think it was 2-1 I had it down as. But Jack Bonham's not a looker, is he? Christ. Right, schnoz. Not that I'm any oil painting, to be fair. Bristol City, I think they have bought really well in a lot of ways. Really well. The fact that they've signed Don Ballard, League One top scorer, and Lauren Talai, brilliant signings. Really good. All of their signings, bar Jed Wallace, are like under 24. And I'm talking 24, but 22, 21, 20. I just wonder if they're going to be found wanting for some experience this year. And it's a lot of people are looking at the shiny new toys, young toys that are obviously going to be worth something for them. And they're not bad signings, they're good signings. But have they got the balance of what they need? I'm not sure. So we'll wait and see. His mind's on Den Blades. says Joe. Juffy's going to Brentford, isn't he? As Harry Amass is off to West Ham. Harry Amass to West Ham would be a real coup. £6 million, I think he's available for. Finn, my personal trainer, the Man U fan, he's livid they're letting him go for so cheap. Hey, Jim, you take that Bolton left winger, wouldn't you? Says Ben. Mate, every day and twice on Sunday. Absolutely. It looks really good. Really good. On the Suitor deal, says Scott, I like him as a lad, but if he's struggling now and not interested, it's a concern. He's really struggled today tracking players, and because he's slow and an easy target, he keeps everyone on. Harry Maguire were a bit like that, though, and he hadn't done bad, has he? Bristol tend to start well, but typically taper off as the season progresses. Millwall on the road, is that a weakness for them? I think they were good away from home last season, weren't they, Millwall? You can never write them off, obviously. So to have Bristol City to beat them is a big shout, but they just had some stats up for Thierry Henry Gale. Didn't quite catch him, but they're obviously focusing on what he's been bringing to the game because he's been class. Been watching the game, Obs, and thought, I bet Jim won't mind him. You're absolutely right, pal. We need a left winger as well, as you know. Wado was a Cov fan, but kind enough to join us on streams as well. Stevenson now. Coventry have the Coventry. Bolton have the ball. Sheehan with a tries to drive into the box, but it's just crowded out. He's trying to raise the fans now. He's one of them with arms up in air. Come on. Joe says, from what I understand, Scott, he's asked Leicester to leave. If that's the case, and they're holding him to ransom. Can't see his mind being on Leicester, to be honest. Don't make it right, but human nature. I understand it, but I'd rather he was professional on his way out, if that's the way it's going to be. Throw into Bolton then. We're just comfortable here, let's be honest. It's a corner now. Plays it off the... I think it's Andrew. No, I don't. He plays it off Femawu. Speaking of Bristol City, Max Bird is a massive loss, I think, from what I've seen of him, which isn't loads. I think he flatters to deceive a little bit, Max Bird, to be honest. It's not a bad signing for Birmingham. 2.2, I think Statman Jack told me he's gone for. I don't think he's good enough to get in Birmingham's first team. So if they're padding, that's fine. But 2.2 for a player last year, I think it's a lot for him, if I'm honest. Hang on, Max Conway now with the corner from the left-hand side. It's going to be an in-swinger. It's poor, but it... Oh. Another corner. Another corner. They wanted handball, but it's another corner. Wado says... I'm right behind you, lads, this season. Now we've got Gus back. Genuinely think you'll beat the Blues tonight. I hope you're right, pal. I hope you're right. What do you think to Gus, Wado, having seen him in the flesh? Because you have seen him in all his glory now, haven't you? Corner's drifted in and plucked out of the air by Everson. Yeah, what did you think? You can try and get Alfie Cresswell on loan from us at centre-back. He's looked very good this pre-season. You've just got a production line, haven't you, of former players. Unlucky for Notts County to run into Leicester at the start. It is, but there's sometimes merit. Oh, no flag. Oh, I tell you what, is that Dolby? Yeah, well, this is where they're lacking. And I know we spoke about it earlier, and they've got 2 goals. But a clinical striker scores there. It's straight at Everson. Yeah. Sometimes it works though, doesn't it? Like Blackburn caught Wolves cold last night. I think playing them early sometimes is good, particularly if they're slightly underprepared. Leicester have got a lot of players to replace. It's a free kick to Bolton just to relieve some of the pressure. We had a great start last season due to continuity, says Ben. Keeping players is just as important as adding in this league. Yeah, I think that's fair as well. Couple of subs now. McAtee's coming off. The McAtee is coming off. Ryan Hardy comes on. Good signing for them, that. on loan from Wrexham, obviously. Couple of deals between Bolton and Wrexham with Trott coming in as well. Sheehan comes off and Illing Jr. comes on. Oh, no, sorry, it's not Sheehan. It's Larazabal and Illing Jr.'s come on. We're obviously at West Brom last season. I think he's on loan from Villa. Good player. Good player. Be interested to see how he gets on. Wado says, Gus is Gus. He'll play his part this season for the money paid. I'm absolutely sure of that. I put out a tweet this morning. It might help him if he isn't the main man and everything's going through him. Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I think a lot of Cov fans were rightly excited that you were getting your boy back. But we sort of did say, err on side of caution because he's not quite what you remember. And ultimately, he's carrying too much weight at the minute. And we were never able to get him to shift that. But you're right, he certainly won't be the main boy for you. I think you've got too many good players for that to happen. But I just wondered what the general reaction had been to seeing him as he is currently. Because there's just been a bit of ill discipline off the field, I think, is all. His talent is absolutely undeniable. For Coventry to stand up to Monaco is no mean performance. By the way, absolutely right. We played them off the park, but it's pre-season. You don't get too down when you lose and not too high when you win. It's just about fitness, to be fair. Yeah, that's true. Bit scrappy now, this. Does Preston try and come away with it? Well dealt with. Dan says, good fee from Watford for Irankunda, but the owners are loony. They'll finish bottom 3. Wouldn't shock me. Would not shock me at all. But I think they've got 40% of it to pay for to Bayern Munich, haven't they? Off topic, says Matty, but hope you've been good mentally while your family have been on holiday, mate. I think it's easy to be so focused on footy, but there's a human side to life too. Thank you, mate. That's a lovely thing to say. I had a little bit of a dip on one at days, but generally I'm in a very good place at the minute. But thank you for asking. It's always important. He's always been the same, Jim. He was always out on the lash in Cov. Yeah, he enjoys his life, doesn't he? I do think he could have been a Premier League mainstay had he had, say, a pro's mindset. I'll tell you what, Osmajic is through on goal here. It looked offside. He tries to slide in his pal. I tell you what, that is an absolute fluff. What is Osmajic doing there? Because he's got a man on him as he's running away. He's through on goal. In fact, no, he's on his own. And as the keeper comes out, he tries to slide in his pal. And it's too far. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy, like. It ends up as a corner as defender clears. Wado says he won't play if he's not fit enough. Lampard won't have it. To be honest, if we were in a stronger position, Wilder wouldn't have played him either. Because he's had Tyrese Campbell out of the squad this pre-season. Had him doing double sessions for fitness. And only when he's got to a level we're happy with, we signed a new deal. Oh. It's an header towards goal. I tell you what, do not. Jack Bonham, the looker, has gone down. Jack Bonham has punched it out onto a Preston head. And it's out for a goal kick. Andrew Hughes comes off for Preston. Thierry Small's coming on as well by looks. Vukovic is coming on. Bergzog's off and Thierry Small's on. Okay. Peter Beardsley says, sorry if you've said previously, I've only just tuned in, but thoughts on Anel and Suter. It depends what you're asking, pal. I would prefer Suter to Anel if that's the question. Matty says, that was so poor and now he's moaning that the other player wasn't keeping up. How he's playing at this level is mental. On and off the pitch, he's dreadful. Yeah, I think he's got a bit about him, but he was poor there. And I just do not like him as a person. Oh! It's a deflected cross into the Preston box. They just managed to scramble it clear, but here come Bolton again. Thierry Gale force. All right, dude. What you got? Oh, nice. Illing Jr. I think he's a decent signing. I didn't realise he'd come on for. He'd sign for Bolton. You're eyeing up my Toblerone, aren't you? You can have some today. You can. I'll open it. I'll open it soon. But I thought I was gonna have a chance to open it while we're doing this. But it's been a good game. I've been talking to my friends. Everybody in the chat. Any updates on what the League One scores are? Not off the top of my head, but I will find out for you, pal. Soph, do you want to read out the League One scores? Okay. Scores. So you see those three. So do you want to read them out?
So Notts Country.
Notts County.
Now Notts County, Leicester City. 1-0 to Leicester City.
Well done.
Oxford United and Milton Keynes Dons.
Yeah, MK Dons, yeah.
And 2-1 to Milton Keynes Dons.
Yeah, well done.
Reading and Luton Tower. A tie of 3 goals.
Yeah, 3-3. That's it. Because they haven't kicked off. They don't kick off till 3 o'clock now. So those are the 3. So yeah, as Sophie says, and did really well. Well done, dude. Proud of you. Notts County are losing at home 1-0 to Leicester. Oxford are losing at home 2-1 to Milton Keynes Dons. And Reading are drawing at home with Luton 3-3 after being 3-1 up as well. So yeah, those are your League One score updates. There's been another change there, which will hopefully get updated on here for Bolton. Josh Talks Football says, hey up, new to your channel since relegation, but cracking content and on the pod. Thank you, my mate. Been watching it last few weeks. Blackburn caught us last night, but we should get into Preston next week. Yeah, you should, looking at this performance, pal. You should. Thank you for joining us, pal. Hassan says, there isn't many places to go in the league this season, and you can't say that you can say are easy. That's right. That's right as well. That's the championship, mate. That's why we love it. In itself. So here's a question for you. Yeah. Look at the time on the clock. How many minutes is a football match? 90. So how many minutes are left?
That's 2 minutes. I mean, that's 2 questions.
Okay, yeah. So I've got another question for you. How many minutes are left in the game to the nearest minute? Yeah, that'll do. 8. Wait, no, you could say 7. Yeah, it's 7 because it's closer to 7 minutes, isn't it? Well done. Good math, that. Well done, Sophie, says Dawn. There you go. Matty says, go on, better reader than me, especially on camera. There you go. This, come here. This is the future of these channels, by the way. So when I'm too old to do any of this, this will be your host, Sophie Smith. And not only that, we will be looking back at these videos and she will be cringing about when she was first reading out the scores on the channel, and she'll be absolutely bossing it because she will. Yes, you can open it, yeah. Don't let me open it because you're a bit dodgy with stuff like that. No, hang on, watch. It's a cheat way to do it. Oh, it's that way, that's why. You just do it one by one, like that. So you take that. Best bit, by the way, the end. Look at this. Look the size of this. Eating my Toblerone. It's supposed to be a present for me, that. Go on, Soap. Repping the gingers, says Tom. Tom's a ginger as well. Give him a shout out. Say a shout out to Tom.
Shout out to Tom.
Yes. Love that. That Gale lad at Bolton looks alright, don't he? Says Josh. Not half, pal. Not half. I'm just saying it won't be long till he's you see him all over X now, where we could really do with Gale from Bolton. Couple more changes, Soph. And speaking of it, I think Gale's coming off now, actually. Stevenson and Gale off. He's played really well. Thierry Gale. If she can wind Cal up just as much, she'll fit right in. Yeah. Oh, she can. Welcome back, Sophie, says Ben. You need to get a show on with the wife and or partners talking about being football widows.
Mummy.
Yeah, Mummy's not a big football fan, is she?
Although keep eating chocolate.
Yeah, keep eating chocolate, but she says she will do that. Have you eaten it all? That full block?
Wait.
Unbelievable. Oh, it's a goal. Preston. You distracted me then with chocolate talk.
Hey, chocolate's important.
Arabi! New signing for Preston scores. Header. Off underside at bar. Just gives Bolton a nervy last 5 minutes here. Hello there, little lady Sophie, from the teacup.
What's the teacup?
Do you remember the teacup? Was it a pug in a teacup or something that you liked? That was Eve's original picture. So Eve's saying hello. And up the fellow gingers, Sophie says Alex. It's a lovely header, to be fair, from Arabi. Isn't it, Soph? A good header to score the goal. You could have done that today. Hey, oh, here she go. Okay. That is a Cornish pasty. It's like a steak bake thing, like you get from Greggs or something. Because Dave Morwood, who is the Cornish blade, it's called a Cornish pasty because it's made down in Devon, where he is, that sort of area. What's with Sophie and Aaron? What with Sophie and Aaron? The channel is in safe hands. You know Aaron, who's Dave the Noses boy. He was on stream with us the other day. Yeah, so Aaron, Dave's saying with you two as the future, the channel's in safe hands. Love that. Come on, PNU, says Damsey. Notts County won a piece. Oh, they've scored 1-1. Notts. Great header, says Matty. Goals improve so much when it comes off the bat. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Always looks great off the bar. Nothing like tormenting you, Jimmy, with the chocolate. Yeah, you like doing that, don't you? Notts have had more XG by far. This is what I mean. Playing some big hitters early doors is sometimes a good thing. It's a dangerous free kick now to Preston. They do not deserve to take anything from this game. It'd be scandalous. Dan says, how about this for an alternative angle? Everyone forgets about West Ham and accept we're too strong and concentrate on beating the other teams in the league, especially if they're in the bottom half of the table. Crossed in. It's cleared by Bolton. Little bit of hesitance, a little bit of panic, I think, by it looks. So Preston are in red and Bolton are in white. Yeah. Scoreboard at top. Crossed in from Preston. Header. Oh, it's just wide of the goal. Was it Erhan again? Arabi, sorry. No, it wasn't. It was somebody else. Liam Lindsay. You've got to hit target from there, Liam. Oh, it'll be really nervy now. That's my bet down the pan, says Tex. Notts have been the better team, says Jamie. Good lad, Notts. Join the club H-Town. Suter at fault for Notts' goal. He just stopped playing, thinking the lad was offside. Poor defending. He's not worth 10 million, says Ramaman. Notts County score. Suter nightmare. Tom says, she's helping you out with the chocolate, Jim. Remember, thanks for Oxford Natural, you're £34 down. 33. But, yeah, I am £33 down. Oxford Natural, so. Two right. Oh, nice. Nice. Can't wait for 5:30 now, says Kentster. Great to have football back. Is that Dan Kent? You'll have to let me know. Latest Platinum Rambler. Evening from Oz, Jimmy. So this guy's messaging from Australia. How good's the Championship? First Wolves, and now Bolton over Preston. First Rovers shocking Wolves, and now Bolton all over Preston. Best league in the world to watch. So unpredictable. Absolutely love it. What did you say, so?
I couldn't live with the spiders in Australia.
No, me neither, to be honest. Matty, how many? 4 minutes added time. If Preston walk away with a draw, that'll be damning for Bolton for the rest of the season. Proper confidence knocker early can destroy teams. That's absolutely key. This 4 minute period now could be so important for Bolton's season, which sounds dramatic, but imagine the low they will feel of conceding a late equaliser when they've been so dominant, and the high of holding on to it when it's been so close to slipping away after being so confident. Get a nail back. Forget about Suter, says HR. Damsido says West Ham are like an odds-on horse that can't lose, except when they will lose one. They will lose one. She's even showing you up with the guns now, Jim. Step aside. Texas here, says Emperor Burton. You have one of the best channels on YouTube. Thank you, my mate. Thank you. That's because we include superstars like Sophie. Josh Talks Football says, missed being in the champ. Nothing like it is there. Who do you support then, Josh? Are you a Wolves boy? Knots on top, says Scott. Last few minutes here. How many minutes are left then, Soph? Yeah, about 3 minutes. Well said. Hey, oh, here she go. You're a little too high. So I'm after this, got about 40 minutes, and then Grandpa's picking me up at 3 to go to the match. Yeah. Oh, Bolton were nearly through again then. Damsido, we lose games. I look last season to go up a team cannot lose more than 8 games. To go up a team cannot lose more than 8 games. Are you sure you still want Suter, says Martel? Yeah. One game does not make or break a player. That must have knocked a couple of mil off Suter, says CJ. Price tag getting hammered on X. We don't. The price of 10 million has never been in the question for Sheffield United. Birmingham should get rid of Davis and should get Howe in, like what Tom said. I think you won't get Eddie Howe, but I think Davis might be up for one of the first managers to go, to be honest. Absolutely. Driving down the asking price for us. Josh says, even as a Leeds supporter, I'll always keep in touch with the Championship. Unfortunately, the Premier League is very predictable most of the time. Championship's brilliant. You know what the Championship is, don't you, sir? That's the league that we're in. So there's the Premier League, and then there's the Championship. So the Premier League, we've got teams like Man United in, and Leeds are in there now, and all the big teams like Arsenal and Man City, they're all in there. And then there's 3 teams get relegated every season, so they go down to the Championship. And 3 teams from the Championship go into the Premier League, and that's what you're fighting for. You're trying to get into the Premier League. And Sheffield United didn't do it last time. Oh, it's Preston. Another chance flicked on at the far post, and he's unbelievable chance there. It was Liam Lindsay again, wasn't it? You've got to score. You've got to score, haven't you, Soph? Free header at the far post, across goal. If it's on target, it's 2-2. It's Desmond. But look at this. Come back with sunburn, aren't you? You can see it now on camera. On different spots on your face. Up the baggies says, Bucket Out Sam. You're asking me about Bucket Out Sam, who I've done some work with. Is there, look, in the comments. And that is full time. Bolton win the game 2-1. Let's have a look here what people are saying just before we wrap up. Cooper Pat Videos says, another sub here from Oz Jimmy. Nice, Australia. Got onto your content through watching Cal for a long time. Love your stuff. Sophie, unless you live out in the country in Oz, you won't have any issues with spiders. There you go. That's good to know. Good luck, Dan. says Damsey. What do you think on Vardy going to Wednesday? I don't think it'll happen, if I'm honest. Al says, all the best for the Blades for later, Jim. Wishing you a great time at the match. Thank you, mate. Appreciated. Aaron says, we need Suter and Anel. I'd love both, but Suter looks like another sub to Blades Ramble. Looks like a no, sorry. And then I think he means subscribe to Blades Ramble. Top man. That is, I think that's Aaron the Nose. Aaron that we were talking about earlier.
Someone donated.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that. That's very kind. Josh says, yeah, Wolves fan, 29, so basically watch Wolves in the champ for most of my life. I love the league. Cov fans starting to realise that Gus has put on some timber, says Andrew. Yeah, he's carrying a bit into. And if he wasn't, I think he'd be a much better player. Leicester fans going in on Harry on X. He'll leave that club, won't he, this window now? No doubt about it. Wow, what a miss. But Bolton deserve that luck. Yes, they do. You make your own luck sometimes, don't you? Depending on his release clause, Eddie Howe might not be able to take a job for 6+ months. He's going to get a Prem job, isn't he? He'll get a Prem job. I've been watching the Leicester game. How was this one? Bolton have bossed it, pal. Bolton have bossed this one. Preston came back into it as would be expected because, it's just flicked over to Notts County Leicester game in the last few minutes. As expected, because obviously at 2-0, you sort of get into a bit of a subconscious chill. In fact, because the Leicester game's on, you know what we can do, so I think if it's available, yeah, there we go. We can switch to that, and it should come up. Notts County Leicester. Hooray, look at that. Vardy to Wednesday, they'll rename it Vardy. Yeah, Sheffield Vardy. Shout out to Tex for a £2 super chat. Thank you, mate. This is for Sophie to get some more chocolate. What do you say then, Soph?
Get more toast.
What do you say?
Thank you.
Good girl. Great stream. Great stream, Jim. Good luck later. Calling a 2-2. Thank you, Matty. I'll call it 2-1. Dave Moore says, well done, Jimmy. Thanks, pal. And Sophie, too. Paul says, hi, Jimmy and Sophie. Is there a Blades watch along today? As I can't make the game up the Blades and all the rambles. Thank you, mate. No, there won't be today, pal. I'm at the game myself. So next time you'll see me live will be for the manager reaction. So I'll be doing Wilder's post-match interview. But between times, I'll be doing the Fallout, which is my match reaction as well. Hit the like, says Eve. Thank you, Eve. Well, that was a game and a half. 2-2 for brilliant games so far. We're definitely going to ruin it, says Thom. Thanks for the watch along, Sophie. Your assistant is good too. He should come on more often. Great watch along. Well done, Bolton. Thank you, Tom Not From. 2 great signings last night for Burnley. We're at a Lane and I don't know who else. Joe says, have a great time at the Lane later, Jim. Them Blades are starting this season with a win. Full belief in Lord Wilder. Up the Blades, up all the rambles. Also found the Patreon for Platmet Ramblers. We'll get it sorted today. What a lad. Thank you, my mate. Satchdev starts for Boston, but Faxon's on the bench. Interesting. Tech Wiz, says Thom. Can't get his mic working all the time, though. Unbelievable. HR says, Saints rejected 17 mil for Howard Bellis from Benfica. That's insane. Bertie says, is the game on TV? Great stream, Jimmy. I think it is on TV, actually. I think it is. Cheers, have a good one, says Damsido. And Harry Suter is down injured. Oh, yes, he is. This is the guy, Harry Suter, who was injured there. He's the guy that we're trying to sign. It's just showing you Joseph's goal there for Leicester. And an equaliser for County. Oh, yeah, you're right. 1 minute. And getting booed, apparently. Great stream, Jimmy. Thank you, Dawn. Suits is down. Suter doesn't look in good shape, says John. Oh, he's just holding his side. That might see him out till end of transfer window unless he signs for another club. I think so. Look at the size of him. Hopefully he's going to sign for Sheffield United, but we don't know. It could be a goalkeeper. He's big enough. No, he's a centre-back, you know, like RM. Defender. You are midfield. You're like a left winger, aren't you, really? Sometimes you play striker and right wing, yeah. Okay. We're almost at the end of this game. Might as well just watch it till the end, don't we? Hey, oh, Harry Suter, hand on hip, does not look happy. Wearing captain's armband. So there were 2 divisions between these 2 sides last year, because Leicester got relegated from the Championship, so they went down to the league, which is called League One. And Notts County came up into the league. On where? On there, yeah. And Notts County were in League Two and got promoted and came up into League One. So there were 2 divisions between them. Oh, there were a division between them last time. Okay, that is full time. It's 1 apiece here at the county ground. Is it? Oh, what's it called? Is it a county ground? I'm second guessing myself. Anyway, this performance should put off a few at the club. Martin's still sure he wants him, says Tom. Not from, maybe. Martin's an absolute wally, says Tom. And it's 4-3 to Luton. If that doesn't tell you that they're going to be favourites for title after being 3-1 down and winning now 4-3 at Reading in the dying minutes, I don't know what does. I want to say thank you to everybody for watching today, and we'll see you all. So when will we see him? In the next one. Say bye then.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.